you.
Wait, you're dumb. She was in the chat the other night calling me a retard, so I don't care.
You are pretty retarded.
You're pretty much dumb, so.
No.
You're just an idiot.
No.
Yeah,
not a flat
so
earther.
stupid. So stupid to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a flat earther, though.
No, let's not.
Oh, you're still stupid, though.
Well,
it's
I'm
okay.
not
You're still
stupid
dumb.
enough to be a flat earther. There's stupid, and then there's flat earther.
Argumentum, not
stupidly good-looking twin.
Why did I think of that one?
Flattery will get you everywhere.
Yeah, tell him, Jeremy. Tell that girl off.
I mean, I want to go at somebody like this, but she's in the chat calling me all kinds of names the other night. It's not cool, Twit.
It's okay, Jeremy. I asked you. I said you're one of two things. You're either incredibly dumb, or you're doing this to troll. Yeah, that's what I said.
Nah, I read what you were saying in the chat.
Did I not say that in this? I said that on live on air. I said that.
And then you started talking in chat after, and you were calling me wild names. It's not cool.
Yeah, because you chose that you were not stupid. So
I'm not.
Then you must be trolling. So I called you a retard.
Well, you shouldn't call people names.
Retarded.
You shouldn't call people names.
I mean, yeah, it's not a nice thing to do.
Right.
You are stupid, though.
Thanks, Twit.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. Real nice.
The earth isn't flat.
Okay. Real nice, Twit.
Well, it's not nice to let somebody... Listen, friends don't let friends continue being stupid, okay?
I've been civil to you this whole time, and you go and do that and just totally disrespect me for no reason. That's not cool.
Respecting you, Jeremy. I like you, so I'm telling you, don't be stupid.
I'm not.
What you are. You think the earth is flat.
But the earth is measurably flat, though.
The
heliocentrists don't really have evidence. They really don't. It's just curving lenses, fully understood perspective, and NASA's blind CGI. That's it.
I don't know why you guys can't understand. Take that picture of Florida, finish the circle out.
Now, boy.
Finish the circle out on the NASA picture. Finish the circle up and see how much room's left over on your half a globe.
Already 3/4 of the way there.
All right.
I mean, you got inconsistent photos like this, NASA's weird inconsistent activity. It's just suspect, the whole thing.
You know, Jeremy, out of 7.5 billion people on this planet, you fall into a category of 0.0000002% recurring. What do you think of that?
No, there's probably millions and millions of flat earthers just in a closet because they don't want
No, all of you together is that. Not even 1%, not even 1,000th of 1%.
It's probably
basically, and it's falling every day.
There's probably tens of millions of flat earthers out there.
No, there isn't. That's the percentage of how many people there is on this bloody planet. 7.5 fucking million people, and you lot don't even come up to 1%. So think about it.
There's 100 million flat earthers. What's that leave us at?
But there aren't.
You don't know that.
We do know that.
We do.
How many
We read. It's called the bloody internet. Go and do some research. You know, you might get good at it one day.
Not even 1 million people.
7.5 billion people on the planet, and you fall into a category of less than 1%. So what's that tell you? That 7.5 billion people are wrong about the shape of the Earth? Oh my fucking word! That's how thick you are.
I would have to say more than half of those people don't even just believe it in blind faith. So
what's blind faith got to do with the shape of a fucking planet? What are you on about now?
We were just saying we're in this small category.
You're a percentage, a minority.
So what?
And so out of 7.5 billion people, you're trying to tell me that they're talking shit.
Are you discriminating on me because I'm a minority?
Discrimination against 7.5 billion people. I think you're a fucking cuckoo. I think you need to see a doctor. You need to take some tablets or something, have a word in someone's ear about your psychotic delusions about the way that you think that you're a higher fucking minority than the rest of the planet when you're like less than 1%. How do you let it out? I don't get it. No, the minority is the category in which I put you flatards in. So there you go. That's not racist. That's specifically correct.
Flat Earth isn't a race.
Educated. Well, everybody's been educated in Jesuit indoctrination mills, and they push this model to basically get the world to walk away from God. And so a lot of people who have been educated in that mill believe similarly, but they believe wrong because they were taught wrong.
Well, God seems to be okay with it because he hasn't come down and sent another flood or fire or anything to wipe us out. So
he broke the back of the fantasy back in 2015 with the Flat Earth Awakening. He's already doing, something.
Yeah.
Coach, I'm waiting on this picture. Let's go.
Oh man, but I'm jabbering and I got
23 hours and 47 minutes.
Did you see what Skydog posted, Jeremy?
Hey, don't steal my fucking thunder, man.
I'd say this image has been doctored, but that's just me.
Doesn't have to be okay. I'm sure somebody understands my point. This is a completely valid point. It doesn't have to be doctored.
I'm just saying, Coach, if I had this image, I could certainly manipulate it. Because what I'm talking about is the scaling of it is, it could be secondary, and then you've got all sorts of problems. If the idiot didn't make the border properly, he'd stretch it. I mean, the original image without all this text and everything would be very handy, especially when I'm using very, very accurate scaling software and it's not coming up uniform or symmetrical. So,
well, don't worry, guys. Even
I'm
though
not
I
going to
got
post
some shit I got to do,
Coach Show. I know you've been working on something, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
not gonna do anything. But it's just not the first time. Like, for example, like Nathan Thompson came here and took an original image, and what he did was he elongated it and then uploaded it, so it looked like the world was flatter than it was. And I took his original image and scaled it correctly, and it was very different. Same with Jin.
Those guys
dishonest
are dishonest
tactics. Yeah, just dishonest.
Well, saying that they're dishonest implies that they know the truth, right? And that they're deceiving people intentionally, right?
Oh, yeah, exactly. What I mean by dishonest is that he knew he was
right.
changing the scale to make his point, and that's the dishonesty,
right? And you think that that's the way that you see it, is that's he knew he was doing it. He was being dishonest intentionally. It wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't a mistake. It wasn't just he just doesn't understand. He knew what he was doing, right?
Yeah, well, because you can't reverse crop something and make it longer. You'd have to crop it and then stretch it manually to achieve the effect he achieved, So.
And did he admit to this, or did he just, use it as some kind of debunking evidence of the globe?
Well, he made the mistake. He made the mistake of telling me it was a photo, and photos taken from a camera often create their own resolution, and therefore they're a ratio, right? So you can scale it down right down to the 640 by 480, and this wasn't scalable. All of a sudden, the length was a lot longer, and it was very obvious. And when I brought it up, he left. So,
it's a bit like Rakia and his supposed trolling, which was just him getting caught in a blatant lie,
getting owned. Yeah.
And I think he believes in the flat Earth, certainly, but if someone's being dishonest, if they can cut corners and show evidence that they've manufactured, it had some gain in this room or something like that, I think that he's perfectly capable of doing that.
Well, look at how Spurs did his picture. So when he makes it smaller, I guess it would be making it smaller in the screenshot, right? So that it still looks like Florida's huge, right? But then when you click on it and then you enlarge it, you can still. He manipulated the circle somehow. How does that work?
Well, no, that's a fisheye lens, so that's why that the curvature that's going on there is not it's not really.
So you're saying that's an inaccurate representation of space?
Yes.
No, the curvature. You shouldn't make a circle and assume that that's the circle of the Earth because it's not. It's a lens.
So you would say that's an inaccurate representation of space.
Of the one Chemo posted, I would say that.
Yeah, for sure. But you wouldn't. Yeah, you wouldn't. It doesn't apply there.
Did you do it yet, Kosho?
Yeah, I'm nearly there.
23 minutes or 23 hours, 43 minutes.
What's he got you on a timer for?
I got a timer going for Kosho.
What did you do?
Could you be any more of a twat today, Jeremy?
Oh, no.
There's still time in the day left, Brian.
Brian, I apologize to you for yelling at you last night, and this is how you're going to do me today?
Oh, shit. Apology retracted.
That's how you going to do me?
This is how New Yorkers are, man. I know he's feeling a little feisty today.
So they can call you like really names, right? And then I call you retarded and stupid, and you get mad at that. But I don't call you like, other names like bitch. And
he holds anyone
should be calling anyone names. I mean, how old are we? No one should be calling names.
Well, you're a flat earther, though.
What are we in kindergarten?
That takes that whole child nature out of it. Honestly. Listen. I don't want to hang around with people who are purposely playing people, and either that's why I wanted to know if you are serious, then somebody's going to have to be honest with you so that you have to kind of break down people who have a mental blockage, right? So if you're seriously confused about the shape of the Earth, then you need to admit that. But if you are just stupid, then what can anybody do? That's just the way you're going to be. Now, if you're trolling, we can all have a chuckle with you, and say, ha, 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 you good troll. That's a good one. That's good. All this stuff back and forth. Have a good time. But, you don't get to play the game without defining who you are. Like if someone calls you to the carpet, you have to admit it. So are you stupid? Are you trolling? Or, what? Are you just confused?
I'm not stupid, trolling, or confused. Stop hitting me with you guys love false trichotomies.
No, because that's the way it is. False trichotomy. That's what it is.
You just hit me with a false trichotomy.
That's what makes me think you're trolling, because that's so funny.
What is trollish about that? You just hit me with a false
Jeremy,
trichotomy.
Flashburn's put a really good GIF in the chat to show you what's
hilarious.
going
on. Yeah, you're gonna be owned by this picture, Jeremy. You're gonna feel very stupid. It's gonna be a 1-2 punch. Kosho will post his, and then I'll post this, and
it doesn't matter now. Flashburn's very fucking.
Oh, Flashburn, silent killer. That's what he is.
Yeah, that's exactly what he is—a silent fucking killer. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, Jeremy should be quoted on that for sure. That one needs to go in the history books.
He doubled down on it too. God damn it, there's a false trichotomy.
I love it. But that's what makes me think he's trolling. He's good at these things.
No, I'm not good at what things. Listen, I want to see
coming up with that like is so not a thing, Jeremy, and you just blurted it out, so it was just funny. Hilarious.
Listen, I want to see a picture of a globe with Florida taking up a quarter of it, not some cartoon image.
But that's not what you're asking. What you're asking is how does this work in perspective in scaling? And this
you're saying it's possible to take a picture of a globe.
This is going to hurt, Jeremy. I'm warning you. I'm warning you.
Have Florida be a quarter of it.
It'll never be a quarter of the globe, ever.
I know.
It'll never be the quarter of a globe.
I know, Twit. I know. I feel you.
It's going to hurt.
Jeremy, what is the distance to the? What is the rough approximation of a distance to the horizon from 250 miles in the air?
Yeah, we went over this, man.
1.2 times the square foot.
About 1,200 kilometers.
There you go.
Or 1,200 miles or something like that.
Okay.
It's about 1,300 miles. Is that remotely close to the size we say the Earth is?
1,300 miles. No.
It's gonna be a huge fucking image.
I can help you with this one, Jeremy. I think the answer is no.
You're not looking at the entire globe by completing that circle. All you're doing is looking at a horizon from the ISS. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. That's not Florida taking up half the globe. That's Florida taking up as a portion of your field of view. And if you go the full circle, it's not going to get remotely close to the globe.
All right, here we go, Jeremy. Using the exact line on your drawing. If you think that's a quarter of the globe.
First of all, you tried to cheat. Your lines don't match up. You need help with coloring inside the lines or something. Chemo did it the right way up top.
What do you mean?
555. 555. Chemo did it the right way. Your lines don't match up, dude. You tried cheating. That's fine.
That's actually both those are wrong to do.
Sheeple tried cheating. Look at you.
If you think that Chemos hasn't even touched the line on one side, and you're saying that his is better?
Yeah, Sheeples doesn't even match, dude.
I got pixel match. What are you talking about?
Nah, man, your shit's
you got
off.
You got a shitty phone, and you can't zoom in far enough. Allow me to retort. Punk
Chemos
bitch.
Chemos is the right one. Why are you calling names? I just said no name calling.
Because you're a punk bitch.
Stop the name calling. Listen, it's in the rules. You're not supposed to call names.
This is why people think you're trolling. If you look at Chemo's, his intersects the globe on one side and doesn't touch it on the other, and you're saying that it's perfect.
Yep, he's trolling or he's stupid.
You're right.
But
that's a punk bitch.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear that none of that is. That this is not the shape of the Earth that you're seeing with this curve.
It doesn't.
This curve is
no good. It's no good.
We know it's
but that's the thing though. There's a disconnect between what you know and what you're spending time on right now, because you're saying that their pictures are wrong because they don't match the circle they've made. But that's not that circle is not relevant to anything.
But either way, it doesn't work to be a quarter of the Earth.
If he was trolling, I wouldn't have a problem with him, man.
And here's the line zoomed in that you can't zoom in. You're telling me it doesn't touch?
Nah,
what a wanker.
I think Chemo's looked like it was a sliver off.
Yeah.
I'm not spending more time on this.
You're
going to get what I'm giving you now.
Well, his is more
I use SolidWorks.
Yours looks like...
so you guys are just going to let him go with this? You're just... I mean, that's where it ends. I'm asking seriously. Like, we just let that go and
what can you do?
No, I mean, that's the actual sufficient answer, is that you see as far as you see because that's where the horizon is, and it's not a mystery how far away it is. It's an equation that tells you that distance that you see at the end of the Florida thing, Jeremy, and at the height that you are at the ISS. So there's nothing flawed with that picture whatsoever. The only reason why it's flawed is if you make up reasons, why it should look different or something.
So if he leaves not accepting this, right, this particular image and the explanation, right? So if he leaves not accepting that,
never does.
You're going to allow him to ask another question and think that you're going to give him some knowledge that he's going to take and learn from, or is it going to be every time it's going to be this way? Every time it's going to.
It's every time. He's going to do is every time he comes in now, he's going to say, "I beat you guys up on this the other day. I beat you guys up on this last week. You don't have an answer for it, no matter how many times we give him an answer for it."
Yeah, and Chemo used a big fat line because he realized quickly that, oh, wait a minute, it doesn't even touch Jeremy's picture. So he had to cover in all the black where it doesn't match. Do that in the thinnest line possible, Chemo. Let's see how great you are.
He's asking you why you engage with him, I think, maybe, right?
It's so funny. It's so funny, Jeremy. You're not going to concede on this point either, are you?
He's not going to concede. It's fine. But
if that's why I say, you know, if he's a troll and that other people feel like he's just trolling, then that's fine, you know. And I mean, it's fine. You guys can do whatever you want, but I mean, when you spend so much time,
if I would get a chance to ever respond, I mean, that'd be nice. Or you're gonna just tell me about
go
what
on then, little girl, go.
Don't respond, Jeremy.
Sorry, Twit.
Like
that's
to
insulting
divine
to you.
people's thoughts.
Okay.
Respond.
So,
go on, creature. Respond.
Yeah, why don't 5 more people tell me to respond, then I'll go.
Respond.
Respond.
Kosho said that's not the curvature of Earth anyway, so it's irrelevant.
Kotai.
Did you hear what I said?
Come see, come sir.
You hear what I said?
Jerry, based on what you just said, let's ask a real honest question so that we can move forward. Because I missed the last bless already. All right, I think I missed the next one. But
did you get a Lyft? Did Lyft give you a car?
No, I got to renew my driver's license, man. I had to do that like 2 years ago. But anyway,
Jesus.
Where was I? Right.
In your bloody room or only turn your microphone, hopefully. Okay,
the curve is irrelevant. The curve is irrelevant.
Because it's not the curve.
It's fisheye lens. So hold on, though, Jeremy. Hold on. So the curve. Forget about the curve because you just said it to them. Let's just not talk about it. I'm not saying it to you. So we're not talking about the curve. But the actual position that you're seeing, the limit, the extent to the marking on the ground that you can see the furthest at, is identified in that picture. And as we said before, it's no mystery that it's consistent with the size that we say the Earth is. And so from our perspective, that picture is just a normal picture. And so I'm asking you, what problems are you saying exist in the picture?
You've admitted you have no Earth curve in it. Let's just move on. That's fine. I'm fine with that.
Not the words I used,
we'll
but
call it a draw.
We can settle.
We'll call it a draw.
So a draw is the best outcome that's ever going to happen with you, then.
There was no draw. Yeah. You lost badly on every point you raised, including you said, draw it out. Draw out the curve. Show the curve. So what we've done is done both things. And your response is...
And here comes Kosho saying there's no Earth curve. So
no, hold on.
That's not what I said, man.
No. What you said was pretty basic. No surprise there. But what you said was to do a certain thing. When doing that certain thing, even though it's incorrect, like Kosho pointed out, because the lens is not, like a rectilinear, it still doesn't help you to, carry on with your original point that was a quarter of the Earth.
Not carrying on. It's done and over with. We've had a draw.
So you lost.
No curvature.
You're just playing the draw.
This is the final championship. There can't be a draw. We have to go into overtime. So
what do you think about this picture here, too, man?
You want to play rock, paper, scissors for it?
Nah.
So, Jeremy,
bring up your next level, and it'll be best out of 2.
Or is this contagious?
Repeat that, please.
It's just a joke. Does chemo give you lessons in misquoting people, Jeremy, or is it just contagious?
Who did I misquote?
Well, you misquoted me, man.
Every time you talk about a past conversation or what someone else said, it's inaccurate.
I pretty much said what Kosho said verbatim. We have no Earth
pretty much
curve.
verbatim
Kosho.
is a contradiction.
We have no Earth curve. Kosho 2020.
That's what I'm saying. You can switch around almost anybody's words as long as you're allowed to orchestrate what Dave just said and rearrange the words, add a new word here, and you can make them say something completely different.
Listen, we need to add that to the quotes too. Pretty much verbatim.
I've admitted it's a draw. What more do you want? I've admitted it's a draw. Kosho said that's not the curve of Earth. What more do you want?
Let's be clear. Let's be clear, just so Johanna keeps saying it. I said that what we're seeing there is not the actual that curvature that you're seeing, that definition, that curvature. That's not the curvature of the Earth. So you're not going to expect it to make a circular. That doesn't mean that there's no curvature of Earth in that picture.
Okay,
that means
that's not the Earth.
That means that the specific.
Kosho. Yes, Kosho.
You lost badly, Jeremy.
That's not the Earth curve. Fine, there's nothing more to talk about this picture then, since you don't have the actual.
Let's move on. Move on. Nothing to see here.
Can I just finish, please?
No,
invisible.
This is your get out of jail card. You're in trouble. You're in trouble.
If you had the actual Earth curve, there'd be something to talk about. Since you don't have actual Earth curve and just some fisheye lens version of it, then there's nothing more to talk about. It's a draw.
Let's talk about the darkest recesses of your lily white ass you talk out of then.
I would consider this a win for you guys.
Yeah, you lost badly.
Even though it's a draw.
It is a win.
It's a draw. It's not really a win, but you managed to weasel your way out. It's always going to be a win. Kosho weaseled his way out of it for you guys.
This is the easiest win that anybody could get. Because the flat Earth isn't real. So we're always winning.
Yeah.
But his original claim...
It's really
his original claim was quarter of the Earth.
When you get to be the determiner of what your opponent said.
True, too.
That too. That's a good point.
Flat Earth is claiming that we're all stupid, man. That we're all stupid enough to be duped by everybody, and all the scientists were stupid, and they didn't achieve shit. Einstein was stupid. And that's what you're claiming, basically.
100% agree. And
it's only y'all have figured it out.
What do you think, Jeremy?
I've never claimed you guys were. I've never claimed that you guys were stupid. Aside from Stone, you guys are all pretty bright.
How is that possible, though? If we're confused by all this stuff, if we're the ones being fooled, how are we not stupid?
Right. That's a good question.
Listen, you're some very bright people. All right. Some of you know a lot of stuff. You've just been misled, misguided.
Okay. So we've been misled, but you haven't, right? Is that what you think?
I mean, I was misguided too for a long time.
No, but Jeremy, come on, stick with me here.
What?
We're currently misled. You are no longer misled. Is that correct?
Yes.
So at some point in your life, you figured out something that we have failed to figure out, correct?
Yeah, which is amazing because you guys are right in this. You guys have figured this out.
Stick with me here.
I'm with you. You guys should have figured this out.
Okay, at some point in your life, you figured out something that we haven't, right?
Yes, which is amazing, but yes.
You really believe that?
You guys are the smart ones. You guys are the smart ones. You should have been figured.
You really managed to convince yourself of this, right?
This is tasty.
I'm just saying, you guys are the smart ones. You should have been figured this out. You need to be more cynical and skeptical.
It's incredible, Jeremy. It's incredible.
Good advice, man.
Almost like it has no credibility.
Yeah.
You hear what you're saying?
I've just been taken all my life, man. I'm just a dumbass, man. God damn.
Well, Stone, you are correct.
Jeremy.
Yeah.
Shitter's still living, dude.
Does that irony never strike you as odd, Jeremy, that somehow you're the one who's figured this out, and you and whoever all these other flat Earth people are figured it out, and we haven't? That never strikes you as odd?
Very odd. Kinda. I mean, if you were more cynical and skeptical, then it wouldn't be. It would be odd, but I know you're not.
Essentially, if we just refuse to accept some of the things we know as fact, then we could be better.
The things you think you know as fact.
Oh, we think we know.
There we go. The twist.
Yeah, but you think somehow you specifically and you other flat earthers are in an opinion to know that we're wrong, right? We're in a position that we're wrong.
Yeah, me and the tens of millions of other flat earthers. Yes.
Tens of billions.
So how do you think you put yourself in this position to know we're wrong? What did you do?
I mean, I'm cynical and skeptical of people. I know how people are. You know, you guys live in Candyland.
So it all comes down to the fact that you don't trust anybody, and we do.
You know, you got.
One day he was sweeping the floor, and he thought, you know what? It's flat.
No, I mean, I didn't even believe it was flat at first. I thought.
So would you say that's what it comes down to, Jeremy? It's just the fact that you don't trust anybody?
Not that I don't trust. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't know why. I know you're on this quest for why. Why are we here and shit?
But you do trust people, right?
Sure, there's people there's people I trust. Yeah.
How did you determine who to trust?
There's like one person I trust, maybe two.
Me.
Or three. There's probably like 3 people on Earth I trust. And
except for all the people who told you the Earth is flat, right? You trust them.
I mean, no, I've done my own looking into it and came to my own conclusions.
You done your looking by what? How did you look into it, Jeremy?
I've looked into it. I've
what
seen
specifically did you do?
Dude, a year's worth of stuff. I can't name every
YouTube.
Name a few things you did.
I've listened to the Globers and the Flat Earthers talk.
Okay. So you watch some videos, right?
It's extensive work.
I've listened to the Globers and Flat Earthers interact.
That's not. You're lying to yourself.
Watch some video. What do you mean?
Of course, Kiwi song.
You changed your mind long before you listened to anybody, right?
Yeah.
Did you?
Before I heard it. I mean, before I heard a debate about it, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that you say that, yeah. But I was wish-washy with it though. I was all over the place. I was back and forth. I couldn't make my mind up. I was unsure.
And now you just live in denial of the things you can't answer, right, Jeremy?
You know what really locked it in for me was Nathan Oakley.
Nathan Oakley, yeah, I was going to say.
Oh, you're lying, Jeremy. Last time I asked you about this, you talked about that video you saw of the guy with the lens.
Skiba?
I don't know who it was.
That put me over the edge for it.
Okay.
But then once I started listening to Nathan, that really like solidified it for me. Once I heard the interactions and
so why did you trust him?
I don't think it was these interactions.
I don't have to trust him. I'm just going by what I hear.
Well, you had to believe he was telling you the truth, right?
If there was, if he wasn't, the Globers would have went on there and let me know.
But the Globers have gone on there and they have let you know, and you've decided to ignore them, right?
And they got muted.
They get beaten.
Muted is not beaten. Muted is not beaten, Jeremy. They're still speaking, but the audio is not coming through.
So somehow in your mind you determined who could be the winner because you've determined that you know how to evaluate information, right?
I mean, I can, if somebody's having a debate and it's clear cut who the winner is, you know.
But that's you determining what's clear cut, right?
I mean, yeah, I guess so. It's
because the rest of us say that it's very clear cut the other way. It's more than clear cut; it's patently obvious. But you think you're in a position to judge whether the winner is someone other than we judge, right? So you thinking that you can judge better than us, right?
Well, I mean, it's subjective. It's like asking, what's your favorite rock band? I guess.
No. Reality is not subjective.
No, that's a bad example.
The Earth is either a sphere or it's flat.
Yeah,
and
but
it's not
we're talking about
right?
We're talking about who won the debate or not, you know.
But Jeremy, you've got so many answered and admittedly unanswered sections of the belief system, and you're saying you're convinced.
Oh, flat Earth definitely gives you more questions than answers. I definitely testify to that.
And no one, even the long-lasting flat Earth, not even Nathan Oakley and all the likes of your heroes in the flat Earth community have the answers, and yet you're convinced.
Yeah.
Right. So my point is that you're happy to live in ignorance about certain things because it feels better than actually admitting that those are the glaring, gaping holes in a flat Earth theory.
I don't think it feels better for him.
It doesn't.
I think he likes the. I think he likes the.
I think it makes me feel special.
Psychological pain. No, I don't think it makes you feel special. I think you just. I think in your case, Jeremy, you need the pain.
Sorry. I don't know.
It's the wall. You get up to the wall, Jeremy, and you can't push through it. You can't even check it. You don't even know what the wall's made of. You just like, there's that wall, spin around, go down this way, bounce off this thing over here, back into obscurity and some stupid shit that doesn't make any sense.
You think this is like Vanilla Sky and I'm like...
You're like a fucking pinball machine. You're like a pinball machine. You know?
That's a good movie, by the way, man.
Oh, yeah, it was dope. That chick, who's that chick?
So many
things.
Yeah.
So many things you just ignore to make your flat Earth belief sit right in your head.
There's just things we don't know, you know? I don't know what to tell you. We're not speculators on how the sky works and a whole bunch of other stuff.
No,
you got 500.
We are. We are. You're not.
I know. That's what I said.
We know how the sky works. You don't.
Well, you asked for a teacher.
You're speculating, but
no, we're not speculating. We know.
Yeah, you think
we
you
can
know.
teach.
This is one of the
we
facts.
know, Jeremy.
No,
we know.
This is one of the facts I said about Twit. Twit said, we know the facts, but this is one of the things that you think is a fact, but it's really not.
So how do you know we don't know, Jeremy?
Because it's obvious we're not getting accurate representations of space.
It's obvious to whom?
To me. It's obvious.
Yeah, exactly. You should. Yeah, it's obvious to
accurate. You. Mackie, we're not getting accurate.
If we went by what individuals thought was obvious, we would never have cell phones. We would never have cars.
Oh, I know. My toaster oven needs the globe. I know.
Toaster oven.
My bicycle can't work unless it's the
There's
globe,
the obscurity I talked about.
Yeah, I'm not asking you to obfuscate like that, Jeremy. The thing is, if we only went by what was obvious, we would never be able to create.
Well, obvious to most people, right? Because to other people, those things are not obvious, and they create things because they can see through the common wisdom, right?
No, so in the way that Jeremy's going about it, I could decide all of a sudden that it's perfectly obvious that atoms aren't real, and thus atoms aren't real. That's the world that he's just set up there.
It's like in Fight Club. Remember, he's like, "I'm holding the gun," and he's holding the gun.
The gun's not in your hand.
I mean, you guys.
Yeah, that's right. That's the one.
That is the world they set up, though. If you say that they've already had an atoms are fake, they do all this stuff. It goes hand in hand with the flat Earth. Everything becomes fake. All of science becomes fake.
I wouldn't say all of science.
Basically.
No, the stuff that's real.
Astronomy, cosmology.
Germ theory is not real.
Basically, wildlife biology.
Yeah, they even don't believe certain dinosaurs didn't exist.
All of chemistry.
Did you say wildlifeology?
I'm undecided on dinosaurs. I wouldn't put it past them, but
how can you be undecided about dinosaurs, Jeremy?
You never know.
How
can I be undecided?
I don't know. Well, you see birds, you see ostriches. They're still alive.
Because they used to fake a lot of stuff back in the day.
They didn't.
Why would they lie about dinosaurs existing? What purpose would that serve? What would that do? God could still create dinosaurs, okay?
I'm not really religious.
But that's the only option you have, other than you're just incredibly you're on the slick side of things where you just don't want to know anything.
No, that's not true either. I definitely want to know things.
No, you don't really, Jeremy. Come on.
Jeremy.
Admit it, Jeremy. You don't. Because you could if you wanted to.
I do want to know.
No, you don't. You don't even try.
Why can't I see Polaris, Jeremy?
I want to know for realsies, though. I don't want to know, like, oh, somebody just told me, so that's it.
But that's what you did with the dinosaur thing. And you just said a second ago that people used to lie all the time about dinosaurs, right? You just said that.
Have you seen the list?
Hold on, Jeremy. Can you at least answer did you just say a second ago that people used to lie all the time about dinosaurs?
About finding dinosaur bones, yes.
Did you say that?
Yes.
Where did you hear that?
A lot of people have been caught.
Where did you hear that a lot of people have been caught?
I don't know. Maybe Nature or Scientific America, something. One of them.
Come on. Don't make it up, Jeremy. Come on. Where did you hear that?
I think it was it might have been National Geographic. I'm not.
No, it wasn't, Jeremy. No, it wasn't. Where'd you hear it?
Honestly, I can't remember. It was so long ago. They were caught faking. Mackie.
You know you're not reading National Geographic, and you know you're not reading Nature, and you know you're not reading Scientific America, so you cannot possibly have read it there.
Wow.
So where did you hear it, Jeremy?
I'm going to go get my stack. I have a stack of National Geographics
right
now.
But you didn't read them.
He knows they have titles and a cover. That's about it.
He's not entirely wrong, though, is there?
Yeah, he's not wrong.
There was the Bone Wars. I think he's probably talking about. Where
Thank you, Jem. Thank you. Once again, Jem has to.
Hey man, I had your back too, man.
Thank you, Kosho.
I also had your back. The bone wars were a big problem. The thing is, that doesn't invalidate all dinosaurs.
I'm not saying it does. I'm just saying now it's in question. We got questions
No,
now.
it's not.
Is it real?
It's not a question, though.
Why was it a war, Jeremy? What was the problem with it?
The problem with what?
The bone wars thing they're talking about. What was the problem?
Oh, I don't know. They shouldn't be faking science, though. That's not cool. This is what I mean. We got to reevaluate.
Everybody agrees with that, Jeremy. How did they know they were faking it?
How they know? I don't know. What'd they do?
Yes.
Instructions.
How did they know? These are important questions, Jeremy.
I don't know how they know. How do they know, Mackie? Tell me.
Because they had experts who could tell the difference between the real things, which meant there were real ones, and the fake ones.
All right.
And there's two parts of that. That means there were real ones, right?
But you realize even to this
Jeremy,
day,
were there real ones?
Do you need help with anything? Or?
Jeremy, they find full.
Jeremy, if there were fake ones, does that mean there were real ones?
I gotcha. I got it.
How does that toy do?
So were there dinosaurs, Jeremy?
Each side? All right.
There were?
He's paying attention to something else right now.
What's up, guys?
He's getting to the wall, Scott. That's the problem.
So Jeremy, were there real ones in addition to these fake ones, according to the article that you might have read?
There's no dinosaur.
Real bones? I guess so. I mean, I didn't really.
Well, okay. If there were real ones, does that mean there were real dinosaurs?
I mean, real bones, yes.
Dinosaurs never existed. Sorry.
Real bones, yes, but as far as the extent of them, I got it.
Who is that?
I can't tell if that guy's drunk or high or both.
Do we have a real?
Are you going in the back? All right.
Dino host?
There's not a real.
He's real. He's skeptical.
So if these museums and these universities filled with dinosaur fossils, and they're not bones, right? They're fossilized bones. If they have museums and universities filled with these things, where they literally got them stacked to the roof in some of these places.
You do know they have to. You do know they have to get rid of all kinds of types of dinosaurs all the time because they didn't classify them right. They got some that were babies that they thought were other species.
So they were baby what?
Well, what they think were dinosaurs. I mean, who knows what these bones?
Okay, so they were baby dinosaurs.
Who knows? Well, I'm saying that's what they say. Hold on, Maggie.
Okay.
That's what they say. As far as I'm concerned, it could have been who knows what.
But you know.
So you're back to this confusion world, right? That we can't know anything at all, no matter how much we try.
Well, this whole arena is highly confusing due to the fakery at the beginning, and
there was no fakery at the beginning. The fakery came later.
But yeah, there was fakery.
Okay, so fakery, but that implies there was actually real stuff, right?
I mean, real bones, yes. I guess. I mean, like I said, I don't know.
See, there you go back to the I don't know thing again. You always go back to the I don't know. Why do you do that, man?
I'm not a bone doctor or whatever. Like, I don't know.
Why don't you just trust the guys who do this then?
That's fake. There's no bones, man.
So
it's
you would have
to be. Have a good night.
You would have to be saying that the fake bones came first, and then science came after that and said, no, we have the real bone.
So there's no real bones. They are all constructions. They're all fake.
Then who decided that just one day they were just going to put these bones in the ground? Who decided that? Who decided they were just going to bury a bunch of bones in the ground and go, look what we found?
You could just leave any boxes.
Why the previous nation before the discovery of quote-unquote dinosaur didn't know about such creatures?
Because they didn't. You know what they knew about? Staying alive. That's what their main focus was. Okay? Their main focus was staying alive. Modern man has the luxury of learning about our Earth. Okay? Learning about our past.
I love this story.
I'm skeptical. Let her finish.
People who lived in the past had one thing they needed to keep on their mind: how to stay alive, how to feed themselves, how to not get hurt.
How do you know that?
Because I know history.
No, that's a fake history you've been taught at school. How do you know that?
What's your
Absolutely.
qualifications on history? Are you a history
Bullshit.
major?
It's a bollocks. That's
Are you a
fake
history major? Perhaps an archaeologist?
Mate, I don't care because now you accuse previous people like
No,
I'm
asking for your level of ability to weigh in on the situation. There's a big difference. There's skeptical like yourself, but skeptical with no background equals opinionated asshole most of the time.
I don't care about what you're trying to convey.
And now you don't care. I mean,
it's
like
all constructions, and if you basically study paleontology, and it's all fake. True independent paleontologists will completely show you that it's all fake.
So they make casts of fake things to put away the fake things, but they're all fake. Instead of making casts of the real things to put away the real things, so that they can use the casting to not damage the one time.
The first discovery of the tree teeth.
Right. So, what field do you work in, Doctor?
Mate,
what level of archaeology have you done? What digs have you been on and dug up fake bones?
That you can't just make.
You can't dig up anything. There's no dirt.
You can't make a logical inference based upon three teeth.
Are fossils real?
They find whole
Are fossils real?
Well, you have to realize paleontology.
Hold on, Jeremy. Don't save him. Don't save him, Jeremy. You've spoken.
Mate, I don't believe in your history. I completely deny your history. That history is fake.
Fossils.
Paleontology, it's not science. Archaeology is not science, man. Sorry.
There you go.
Archaeology is not science now.
It's not science, mate. Yes, absolutely, it's not science, mate. It's not science, mate. It's all fake.
Archaeology is not science.
Yes, mate.
Come on now. There's so many things wrong with that sentence. But anyway, you couldn't answer my basic one. Are fossils
Because
real?
you know, you've been like.
Are all fossils fake? Things don't leave behind bones?
They teach you fakery at school, at university. That's the problem, mate. They don't teach you critical thinking. They don't teach you the true scientific method. They only teach you
critical thinking, mate. You think you're going on about everything that's not even thinking.
You become a devil worker. Just you come on.
Devil worker, have I?
He's just a parrot.
Yes, mate. You propagate the lie.
You don't have a critical thinking fake bone in your body.
Trillions of years, years.
Guys, we don't have to worry. We don't have to worry because they're not indoctrinating the kids as hard as they used to. I had to go into 5 classrooms before I found a globe today, so we're gonna be all right in the future. I'm telling you.
Because I gave you the ball since you were like 2 months.
5 classroom, no globe. Science.
They give you the globe. They give you everything. Like
you can't even.
They show like the dinosaurs and cartoons, and they show like everything. Which means that your subconscious it's already trained to think that way.
But you broke out, right? Because you're better than us.
I'm completely better, mate, than you, obviously, because I don't.
Right,
I'm a critical thinker. Yes, absolutely.
You're not a critical thinker.
I'm not a blind follower. I have to tell you, mate. I'm not a blind follower. I use my senses. Is
space real? Skeptical?
I wouldn't say that we're better than you. I would just say, we just got lucky and
no, you're just suffering from Dunning-Kruger, and you're not staying in your lane of expertise or knowledge. You wish that you would be seen as some revolutionary thinker, ideas man.
They don't have no evidence for it.
I am
skeptical. Is space real or not?
There is no space, mate. That's what you believe in.
Hold on. Okay, good. Got you answer one question. Is the Earth flat in your opinion?
There is no claim that the Earth has a shape, mate. But the thing we stood on, I know it's flat, obviously.
Okay, so you know there's no shape, but you know it's flat. All right, that's not confusing at all. Is the Earth moving?
Hold on, I'm coming from purely from a divine perspective, so I don't embrace your ridiculous devil.
Did you just say divine perspective?
You're trying to advocate and
Did you just say divine perspective?
He did.
Yeah, mate.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're all God's children. Anyway,
he's a god.
Absolutely.
The point is, okay, come on, we'll get there.
Never see
attention. attention span. I know it's waning, but let's try it.
Yes.
So the Earth is flat, but not flat. Whatever you said, space doesn't exist. To
yes,
you,
mate. You
and it's
believe
stationary,
that
right? Earth is therefore stationary.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right. Okay. Now here's the last question I'm going to ask you, because it's getting difficult for you to keep your attention. Now here we go. And all that basis, all that premise, and you say that you're a critical thinker and a divine one at that. What does the Earth rest on?
What okay? I don't know.
What is that guy doing?
I claim
but you should be able to ask the divinity
I have
for
to
it.
tell you, which means a skeptic is not someone who knows everything. So I keep an agnostic view about it. I don't know.
Right.
Which is
so
a
critically
very
thinking,
logical on this position than you, because you claim that you know
you
everything.
don't know.
You people, you know that you have answers for everything. You have answered
Fantastic work.
everything.
All right, I think we're done here.
Billions of years. Oh, mate, I have to tell you, you really have to rethink.
I know you have to tell us. You feel compelled to share your knowledge of critical
If
thinking
you don't know
that you
today,
don't have.
I'm telling you, one day you will come across, you will find yourself that you're wrong.
Right.
I'm telling you. Just remember my words carefully, that you're wrong.
Right.
You really have to be like you.
That'll be your famous. That'll be your famous last words. I'm sure.
telling you,
Skeptical.
mate,
I was a skeptical and I was wrong.
Embrace a healthy skeptical view, like David Hume, Karl Popper. Then you will understand. You will see
I do.
reality.
I'm skeptical that you have any idea what you're talking about after just a small interaction with us.
That's your mind. Your mind tells you that. Your mind is completely.
No, that was your
shaped
demonstration. That was
completely-
your mind.
That's your opinion.
on
you don't
display.
know how my mind works, mate. You don't know
I
how
do.
my
You do.
mind works.
Okay. You said you can think critically when asked critically what the Earth
I'm
rests on
not
inside a
dismissing, I know.
non-space
I know
environment
I'm
that's
talking
flat and
about.
stationary.
Of course,
you said
mate.
I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. That's an intellectually honest answer.
Yeah.
There's not percent. You should not be talking about intellectual honesty. Come on.
I'm agnostic
What's
about
it
it.
supposed to mean?
That's a ridiculous view.
After all the conversations people had with you about Newton's laws last night, you shouldn't say anything about intellectual honesty.
I actually dismissed about anything we said last
You
night.
guys believe.
You didn't concede about rockets propulsion. You didn't know how it works. You couldn't
I
concede.
do
You
know
were
how it
wrong.
works.
No, you're still wrong.
You live in a spinning ball, and you believe that you are a product of chance and completely absurd. You believe in dinosaurs. You believe in this. You believe in.
And Scott, by the way, you're the last one to talk after that video that you uploaded. That was your proof? Come on, man. The video you uploaded and tagged me in.
You have abs.
Yeah. It's perfect proof. What's your problem with it?
Someone putting cans in a vacuum chamber so that and then making them explode was your proof.
That's actually a good video.
Yeah.
No, it's not proof.
And why would
propulsion
and why would that be percent? Why would that be? Why would that be? Let's think about it. Just think. You can do it. What was happening in that video? What did you see happen? Anything move?
Yeah. It propelled off its own lid. Each and every time.
And then
How does that work, man?
So it's not propelling off of a vacuum, bro.
Also, it doesn't need the atmosphere.
Of mass, off of an object.
That's right.
Just
Right.
like-
Off of an object, exactly. So you take the mass up there with you, and you propel off of it as you kick it out the back. Exactly. You got it now.
No, bro.
That's why I showed you the video.
That was the rearmost thing.
Dude,
so it would be like rear
got
of the
it now.
booster.
No.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Got it.
See, all you had to
That's
do,
what you
Scott,
got.
was have him explain it, what he saw, and there he got it.
Yeah, and it
Mass
propelled.
pushes off. Mass
propelled
pushes off itself. If you expel something off the back, you push the two things push off each other. That's all there is to it, and that's how you see the motion inside that vacuum there.
Atmosphere, bro. That's mass that it propels off of.
Percentage.
I know. You take the mass up with you. If you don't take rocket fuel, it doesn't work. You need to fire something out the back.
Yeah, no.
You're like-
It doesn't work regardless because you've never demonstrated it once.
I just did. You just saw it. You just figured it out finally.
Really? So that small vacuum chamber was a near perfect vacuum?
Near enough, yeah.
Man, get out of here. Intellectual. You're such a hypocrite.
Okay.
We've already determined that
No,
we
that's
can
exactly,
create.
You've exactly figured it out. No, I'm the hypocrite. Like, just go with your logic. You figured it out. Stop resisting it.
Dishonest. You're a
You literally said it out loud how it worked, and now you're pulling back from it. Like, don't be afraid of figuring
Maintain
out the
a
truth.
small vacuum chamber is a near perfect vacuum.
It's
I'm maintaining that it's near enough to prove the point. Yes,
it's synonymous with the infinite, near perfect vacuum of space. Come on, get out of here.
Infinite? What are you talking about? Infinite? I'm saying it's close enough to prove the point.
Scott, you have new brain, mate. You have new mind, mate. Just shut up, mate.
Oh my gosh, that's so rude.
Shut up. That's always going to be a good
That's very rude.
You love to basically live in this peer pressure and be like.
We don't have to change the subject, man. So hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna fucking forget what he was ready to. Oh, yeah, right. The vacuum chamber. Think about what we're talking about here, percentage, because you're describing the 10 to 17 torr, which is the number that people throw out, and then whatever this vacuum was, maybe 10 to the -6. Okay, so think about what we're talking about. We're talking about you who believes that they're pushing off the air to move, and us who believe in thrust, which is an internal reaction where it's expelling something and it doesn't need to be bouncing off of anything outside of itself. So
I say I don't believe in thrust.
Hold on, because this is important, because this is what, like, I wasn't calling you this intellectually dishonest, but this is you being intellectually dishonest and focusing on this fact about which vacuum it is, if it's a really big vacuum or 10 to -6 vacuum, when your assertion is that they're pushing off the air. And in both of these scenarios, there's fucking no air. Okay? You can describe the air as being sparse or barely there or whatever the hell you want it to be. But once you're at those low pressures, you're not going to have shit to push off of to fly a can across the vacuum chamber. So, like, just focus on what you're.
Dude, no, this is literally like a false analogy, because you guys are making the distinct error of surmising that this small vacuum chamber with limited space and where the gases and the atmosphere of it are contained and have no way of dispersing or anything is applicable to the infinite vacuum of space. It's not the same thing.
Infinity.
Here in this the video that he posted, the lid is right there, and the gas inside the can has ample opportunity and time to propel off of that lid. It's not applicable at all to the infinite vacuum of space, where that would be dispersing immediately, and there isn't a solid goddamn lid to propel off.
But you know that things don't disperse immediately. You know it should take time to do that. You know it's going to take a lot of gas to do that. They have to fill the vacuum, right? You're acting as if the first
been demonstrated that
let me finish. Let me finish, dude. Like, you got to stop doing that. I'm literally halfway done. Not even 9/10 or 95 100ths. I'm halfway. I'm not even leaving that.
He was roboting a bit, Scott. Though he might not have heard you. To be fair.
Fair enough.
Sorry, mate. You go.
So you're acting as if as soon as any exhaust is released, the very instant that happens, it's as if you're in an atmosphere, which is an unreasonable. If that's true, if that really is true, then it doesn't matter how big space is, because the instant the exhaust got released from a rocket in space, it'd be as if it was in an atmosphere. If it's not true, if it takes time to fill the vacuum, well, then it matters how quickly after the exhaust starts the object moves. And then one of the ones I showed you, you can see that in the very instant that the can punctures, it begins to move to the left as if it was being propelled. There's nowhere near enough time. You can literally see it in stop motion. There's nowhere near enough time for any of the liquid that was at high pressure to get anywhere. It doesn't even come but maybe a centimeter away from the can. Nowhere near the edges of the wall. There's nothing to push against yet.
Bro, it's not a rocket because it's propelling off its own lid.
I'm talking about the one where it's hanging. So the one where it's hanging, you're acting as if as soon as it punctures and it moves to the left, it fills the entire room with Sprite or something.
He laid them all down on the surface.
The Sprite can is hanging and swinging. The one that they did with slow motion.
Okay, so not the video that you posted then.
Hold on, Curve, what is that?
What did he just say it was doing? Propelling off of what?
Its own lid.
Yeah.
Weight.
Which is also the language. Yes, exactly. Good point. I mean, like, that's a whole point. When you take
its own lid, yeah.
You're propelling off your own stuff. When you fire something off the back, you propel off of it.
You can't be sitting here debating about if rockets work in space, man. We already debunked space. It's over. They don't work in space. There is no space.
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't say that there is no space, but definitely they've never once demonstrated that they can propel in
they have.
the near
You
perfect
just reject
vacuum, which would be
arbitrarily.
space.
Yeah.
It's like I can say they've never demonstrated that horses run, and every time you show me a picture of a horse that runs, I can just make up some reason why I don't believe that picture counts.
Like
that's you're literally ad hocing your reasons. You can't a priori give them. Anytime you see something new, you take your time, you ask a bunch of questions, you start searching for something that sounds maybe plausible that you won't believe, and you don't stop until you find it. And then even if it's not plausible, even if you can
ask as much as you want.
You do that. You don't care. You just are willing to do absurd.
As much as you want. The fact remains, it's never once been demonstrated that rockets
I just told you that it has
in the near perfect vacuum of space. Never once been demonstrated. It's only been demonstrated in these little small vacuum chambers where instantly the vacuum is no longer a vacuum because of the atmosphere that's created by whatever there is in there.
Nothing can happen instantly, and you know it. And it has been demonstrated. You just reject them. You can reject. Hey, can I just finish without you? I waited till you're done. Can you wait till I'm done?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Nothing happens instantaneously. You act as if it happens instantaneously, and you know that's absurd. Stop being so unscientific about it. And it's been demonstrated. Just because you arbitrarily deny every time you see a demonstration,
it hasn't been demonstrated.
Makes any sense. Jesus Christ! Why can you just not chill?
I'm chilled, but you keep on saying it as if it's true, and it's not true. And I'm gonna hold you to it.
It's not true, and it is true.
It's never
hold you to
demonstrated, bro.
When it comes down to at this point, then let me just be clear, and let's not interrupt me. Let me get my sentence out. It comes down to he said, she said. You deny it. I say that you're denying arbitrarily. You say no, I'm not. We could go back and forth in front of 20 people for an hour and bore the hell out of them, or we could just let it go.
Right, we'll let it go.
Just be clear that what you claim to be true, most people claim you're being arbitrarily denialist about.
Anyways, let me ask you a question. Would you say that the way a balloon, kind of functions? Hold up, real quick. So
maybe you should save your question. Because I do think we interrupted somebody. But if you want to, we can talk about it after. I just don't want to steal the topic from who we interrupted.
In the room that's interested, though. Most people would agree that the mechanism for a balloon when it's inflated and you let go of it, that thrust of the balloon going in the air being released is akin to how a rocket works, right? So if you can't find me a video, if there are no videos demonstrating rockets working in a near perfect vacuum where the vacuum is actually maintained, right, as close as you can get to mimicking space, then maybe you could find me a video of a balloon being released in such a vacuum.
Why do you think it's in my interest at all to go looking for more videos for you? When you've denied videos for the most arbitrary goofy reasons, why in the world do you think No, convincing... What do you mean not talking to you? I thought you were talking to me.
No, I said you said you didn't want to continue, so I said to the room then.
Oh no, I said I thought maybe you could ask me later, and then I thought you said, well, I think the room wants to hear this, and then you went on.
Okay, what's in it for the room to do this for you then?
I mean, you guys believe that there's propulsion in space. That's the claim that's made. The burden of proof, you guys are maintaining that. You're supporting that claim.
We've already demonstrated it to you, though.
Yeah, but why should we care whether you believe it?
You don't need to. But if you don't care about being intellectually honest, then you can forget about it. You can concede it.
You're a person who's denying space flight and talking about intellectual honesty. I mean, how can you possibly do that? Deny space.
I'm doing it right now.
Deny space
easily.
Don't pretend you're taking an intellectually
There is no space, Jim. Sorry. There's no space. Don't enforce you
of a balloon being released in a vacuum.
To us, mate.
It is audio
chaos. Go and watch a rocket launch and see the rocket operating in a vacuum.
That's circular logic. Because that's what we're trying to prove.
Why don't you show me a video of a rocket in a vacuum not moving?
Seeing it happen would prove it, wouldn't it?
No, because that's circular logic again. That's what's being contested.
What? Seeing something happen isn't
we can't see it happen because there's no barometer or anything attached to it. That's what's in doubt. That's the contention.
We went over telemetry yesterday, and you didn't even answer it.
Do we know it enters space just because it gets dark, or after it's been there for a while?
This is intellectual dishonesty right here. This is exactly what it sounds like.
This is ridiculous.
No matter what you see, you're going to want something else. A barometer. Well, I didn't see two barometers, so I don't know if that one was broken. Well, I didn't see them sign an affidavit, so I don't know if maybe they're lying. I need to see a notary. I want to see them say it under oath.
Who knows the barometer was calibrated?
Just to see something in the sky doesn't mean it entered space. Just because I see something launching going to the sky.
Absolutely.
You're right.
Right.
It doesn't mean that.
You're right. It doesn't.
What's
Are we
next?
done now?
So what? So do you want to be intellectually honest about it or not?
I'm always intellectually honest.
What about the rocket launch
No,
seen from the
so far you
ISS?
have not
Is that
been.
real?
That's all fabrication, mate.
Yeah, fuck, see, it
There you
doesn't
go.
matter.
That's an intellectual dishonesty right there.
It doesn't matter.
claim.
Yeah,
Like,
mate.
parabolic arc seen from the ground, no, it's going into the ocean. Arc carries on seen by airplane in footage. That's still not going to space. ISS seen the rocket going even further than the plane could see it. Doesn't exist.
Definitely, but mate, just you have to do your
You know what,
do your
mate?
own research.
You know what, mate? Your critical thinking needs work.
Mate, I'm telling you, you
And
completely
the words
backwards.
"I don't know" puts you in the arena where you can't contribute to a replacement theory.
You're 100 years outdated, mate. Sorry, can't teach you critical thinking.
Unless you've got a replacement theory, you can't play.
Yeah, we'll go with the
Falsification is
one that
independent
works.
of replacement.
Falsification leaves you in a subjective reality, making objective claims.
You people are really
If we
outdated.
don't
Sorry.
know, it's intellectually honest to say we don't know and not provide some other bullshit
No, it's not.
to
No, it's
replace
not.
your
It's just not.
hokum.
No, it's not. It's
No,
just a
it's
bunch
not.
of people talking at that
That's
point.
just you talking. Yes, that's just you saying that. That doesn't.
No,
mean
that's the actual truth. It's intellectually
that's
honest
just-
if you
that's
don't
just
know
you.
to say you don't know until you know.
That's just you. We know. You
don't
don't.
know shit.
That's not our problem.
I love that. I
We know,
really love
you
that.
don't. Not our problem.
Oh, we know.
You
know
believe,
nothing.
man.
You know zilch,
No,
mate.
we know.
You have no justification
We
to know.
know. We know. End of story, man. We know.
Yeah,
you
you
don't.
kill
That's your
them.
problem, not ours.
Evidentiary evidence for.
Dude, if you don't want to know,
claim
you can go through life being ignorant. That's perfectly fine with us.
Scott Veach was living with somebody.
If you want some help with some of these things that are hard for you to understand, we'll be glad to help. But if you're just going to say and deny everything, if you're just going to say we don't know anything, dude, why even have a conversation with you?
You don't need to.
All right, bye.
Peace.
I think everybody here should take that lead and not have a conversation anymore because all you do is say no to everything. No, no, no. You don't know that. You don't know that. You don't know that.
Yeah,
Well,
that would,
you're really old.
Because we're not blind followers. That's
someone
the
being
difference
intellectually honest.
between us and
Yeah,
you
you
people.
have no
right?
idea what that even means.
The whole community, right? The difference is like, you blind belief. You have a religious faith. You just believe. You take everything for granted.
No, that's your thing. That's your thing, not ours.
Obviously,
No, that's yours.
I've been down the rabbit hole of the globe, and it's completely.
No, you haven't.
It's
No, you
completely fakery, and it's all of contradiction. It's the product of mind, not
Yeah,
the product
sure,
of
whatever.
reality.
Yeah, you can believe that.
I know, man. It's
I know.
difficult. It's hard for you. It's completely
Good luck.
hard for you to absorb such, counter argument that we bring forward, mate.
Yeah, because we have this problem with
completely
sanity.
difficult, mate.
We're saying
That's
you're not.
completely- Because
why
you
we're
know, mate, the reality, the physical, natural reality is in
I have
front
no
of you.
idea what reality
which
is. I'm sorry, man.
You know, mate.
You're just a simple authority. That's what you are.
We are the reality. We are all sitting here, and we know we experience emotionless, non-rotating Earth.
No.
And the burden
No,
of proof
that's
is
wrong.
on you, who claiming that it's more is
No.
moving. So we have to prove that.
No.
Bring it.
We already have.
Our starting
We already
point, we
have.
start from a very logical, consistent reality, which is that
we
we all
already
sit
have.
here talking peacefully, right?
Nope.
And
We already have. We're sorry you don't understand
you
it.
come along
Tried
and
to
you
help
claim,
you.
all right, oh no, you should not. You should distrust your own senses. You trust your senses are flawed, they are limited, right?
Nope.
Or
Nobody
because
said
you're
that.
feeling or something. That's why you're trying to sell us. You're trying to
Nobody
sell
said
devil
that.
narrative. Sorry, mate. This
You
is why
guys have
you
no
have in your
evidence.
mind.
You're like a group of women,
Now
right?
you're so
That
confused.
are just like slinging gossip and
Nothing like that.
and they believe it instantly.
Nothing like that.
You're better than this percent. You don't need to go there.
The burden of proof is on you now to prove that the Earth is moving. When in fact we know we're sitting here peacefully talking, everything is fine.
We don't need to prove this to you. We've proven it to
but
ourselves.
you're
We're
the
good with
one who
this.
is claiming. The claim is on
You
you.
need to
The
prove
burden
it.
of proof is on the claimant, not on me. You're
Yes, we're
holding
getting
that
all
belief,
kinds of stuff done in this
you
world.
believe in it, you embrace, you embrace it. You believe in that. It's in the subconscious mind, man. You believe in it.
Yep. Whatever.
So the burden is on you. You declaim and prove that the Earth is moving.
Yep,
I would never about that. You have to prove it to me. Prove that the Earth we live in, the
You're skeptical. They can't, right man. Now. They can't. They have no.
No, man, it's impossible. The only thing you run away. The only justification. You don't feel it. You don't sense it. That's all you have. Which is, it's a devil policy. It's a devil policy argument.
That's all you're allowed yourself to hear. That's not all we have.
I'm telling you, mate. That's all you have.
I know you think
that. If you wanna prove, if you wanna demonstrate that the Earth is moving,
we've demonstrated
from the Earth.
We've demonstrated it.
You can't. It's impossible.
We've already demonstrated it.
We have no evidence for it.
It's already done. It's already done.
How?
Yeah,
I'm sorry you don't understand it. That's not our problem.
No, this is the problem. I know you have nothing, man. You have nothing to offer. Sorry.
I know, but that gets more
mumbo jumbo semantics and all these reified, models. Therefore it must be. That's all you have. Sorry, man.
Whatever you need to believe. Whatever you need to believe for your own delusion.
I am here. Convince me that we are not moving at the moment here. We are peacefully talking, having a discussion about the ball Earth heliocentricity. Prove that I'm wrong. Prove me that I'm not moving.
Yes,
Kosho, what are you trying to say?
Well, I mean, this is boring just to say.
That's all you are. You have to run away from the main topic.
Skeptical. You're interrupting Kosho. You're interrupting.
Honestly, if you have a point, sometimes you only have to say it once, and the other person will hear it. And you might have to repeat it once, but you have to say it 15 fucking times. But
no, they do.
Yeah, so it's not very difficult to observe that we are actually moving. What you said to begin with was correct. That at first observation, just seeing the sky moving and that kind of shit, at that point, with little information and no thought, you can say that either the sky is moving or the Earth is moving. After very little research, a small amount. You can see that it's indeed the Earth that's rotating, because everything on the Earth rotates. Everything rotates once in 24 hours.
Let me clarify the logical inconsistency.
Let him finish what he's saying. Come on.
Yeah,
Coach, I love that you say it with little information and no thought. That's the words you use to describe something that's axiomatic.
I can't hear what you're saying if I haven't finished speaking yet.
You've got the power to stop.
Yeah. So the only thing I had to say left was everything in the sky rotates, and once in 24 hours, plus or minus, it's whatever it's unique. It has its own speeds. Like the moon's moving a little bit slower, and some stars, could be barely adjusting or something. That the planets might be going in retrograde and change each night, but plus and minus those minor differences, everything rotates once in 24 hours, which tells you that there's one uniform what's the word I'm looking for? There's one cause of that result that you're seeing, and that's that the Earth is rotating once in 24 hours, and all the other minute differences are the unique details.
Coach, like I said, I love how you say little thought, like no evidence in little thought, when you're literally talking about something that's axiomatic. It requires little thought because it's so obvious and evident. It's an obviously evident truth.
What is
just like the sky being blue? It requires little thought to see that the sky's blue because it's axiomatically true.
Not everyone agrees with that. A lot of people say
because once again, right, kosher, right? Obviously,
it's not an axiom.
Hey, kosher, yeah, okay. Do you see how you find yourself difficult to explain, right?
Well, you guys
first of all, that's illogical inconsistency. Trying to justify the object you stood on based upon you make an inference based upon other celestial bodies. No, don't make such intellectual jump, mate. Explain from an earthly perspective. Explain to me earthly the bloody thing you stood on at the moment is moving. Don't completely, look up and say, okay, look up the sky, whatever, the moon and the sun, they are revolving, therefore, therefore the earth is moving. No, that's completely bullshit. No, you can't make such jump. Sorry, that's intellectual dishonesty from your own perspective. Sorry.
So you can tie your hands behind your back and bury your head in the sand if you'd like, and omit evidence just for the sake of it, if you'd like to. You omit half of the evidence. The evidence that suggested that either the sky is moving or the earth is moving, the actual sky moving, which gave you that fucking inclination to see which one it was. Let's just fucking omit that evidence out and not use it anymore. And make actually the question irrelevant now. It makes no sense to say.
Not body, so no, Earth. I need that proof. I want you to prove that the Earth is moving. The Earth, not the sun and the sky. That's obvious. It's obvious. It's axiomatic to everyone. Obviously, it moves. I'm talking about the Earth.
They can't, man. They need a second reference point, and they can't think about this Earth.
That's the problem with Del, man. He's got the tools.
It's impossible, mate. It's impossible.
Sure, yeah. Unless you got the tools to measure it, then
why bother talking to
possible and fairly simple.
Tools to measure it. Observation senses
already
are
determined it's
enough.
impossible. Why bother going on?
Trying to get you guys to open your eyes to the brainwash.
Open your eyes, mate. We are eye openers.
Not knowing.
We are the true eye openers, mate.
To the body of evidence, which isn't evidence.
How I have to tell you.
You guys always call it a body of evidence. It's not evidence. It's just it's benefit of like just blindly following authority. It's not evidence, bro.
You're never gonna win this one.
I have to tell you, Jim, for God's sake, right? Just never bring desirable amount of evidence.
You would accept for any
nothing,
other
mate.
proposition apart from this, and you know it.
You have nothing, man.
You
Sorry,
pretend
Jim, you have
that
nothing.
intellectual honesty.
Man, I blame you. You put me in attack mode.
I have to tell you, man. You have nothing in your pocket. A mountain of evidence. You have nothing,
Are you imagining that somehow you're doing damage? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
I'm completely damaging because once again, I'm here as an eye opener. I'm here as an eye opener. I'm here to open your eyes and
open
mind.
your eyes, man, in the chat.
To what end? To what end?
Chat. Human sheeple lives in New Zealand.
I don't need
Let's say you open our mind skeptical. How does our life change tomorrow?
Sorry?
Yeah, let's say you open our eyes. How do our lives change tomorrow? What do we do differently?
Hey, okay.
Not beneficial to know the truth.
What I mean about changing life is like changing what the definition of changing your mind is changing your whole perspective, the way you see life, reality. That's what I mean. So
you open my eyes. What do I do tomorrow differently that I didn't do today?
No. Hold on a minute. Honestly, even your question, it's an honest question. It doesn't come from an honest person. That's the problem. So it's not. It's a matter of time.
You have no idea.
Basically, sit down, calm down, get rid of your preconceived notions and the electricity, and study with honesty. Be honest. Question honestly. That's all I'm asking.
I look at the chat, man.
And then what?
If your premise is this, of course your perspective will completely be different.
But you already understand. You've already determined that I'm not already doing this, right? How do you know that I'm not already being honest?
Because you still believe in the thing, man.
Because you believe in that based upon the knowledge you're preaching.
So if I'm honest, that means
just a human being. You have a set of information in your mind. You communicate that.
So are you. Sorry? So are you, right? Just a human being.
Yeah, carry on. So what differs us?
Are you just a human being too?
But the difference between the difference between a human being is the knowledge they have. Is the thing that they see is okay. Who moves you? The knowledge.
How did you step out of this?
If your phone is ringing, if your phone is ringing at the moment, right? You're gonna go immediately. Which you are receiving. Someone is calling you, an external information, and then you have to respond. It's an information. So what I'm telling you is like, precious. Your senses are precious. You have to value your senses.
Already
That's
do.
the point.
Already do.
You don't do that.
I do.
You don't trust your senses anymore because you've been fed all this bullshit.
No, I already do.
And stuff like that.
You can see then your senses. Hold on a minute. Let me tell you that you're wrong. You are conceding, right? You are outsourcing your knowledge to mathematics, devices, and this instead of trusting your own senses.
You guys talk a lot and say nothing.
Not critically.
I know this guy hasn't shut
You just
up.
babble on for
I'm telling you, man.
You say
Yeah, guys.
absolutely nothing.
Use the honesty that you like. You guys are just like pro wrestlers or something, man. Like you're not saying fucking anything, dude.
Because
bores the hell out of people.
May, I
have substance. I got something to show you.
You don't have no substance.
In the chat, dipshit, is a school called University of New Zealand. All right, and they got a fucking giant gyroscope. All right, its specific purpose is to measure the rotation of the Earth. All right, so you can learn about it, and then fucking forget about it, whatever the fuck you want to do. But don't fucking claim that people aren't believe in something or whatever the fuck, dude. I gave you fucking straight up evidence that a child could discover on their own, and I'm giving you something that a university is putting out there. And if you have any other fucking questions,
mate, okay, don't struggle, Coach. Right, just prove me simply. Just give me simple evidence. Show me that the Earth is moving at the moment. The Earth, just the spin, the Earth. I'm not talking about the Earth. No, prove it now.
We can't prove it to you. You're too stupid.
It's always gonna be eternally emotionless Earth. That's all it is. Because this is the way it's been created, mate.
It doesn't have an independent frame of reference.
This is the point that it's been created. It is what it is, mate. It's a reality.
Listen, do me a favor. Don't speak anymore unless you actually have something to say. Because you're just taking up airtime, not saying shit, dude. And it's pissing.
I know. It's difficult. I know our speech. It makes perfect sense. And your subconscious mind, it shocks you. It shakes you because you know it's true. That's reality.
Can we hear from some of the doctors instead of some of the non-doctors?
Yeah, dude, skeptical. I am going to mute you if you aren't. If you're just going to rant, then there's no point. You need to take part in a conversation, dude.
I thought you had a very good point.
Who wants skeptical?
Sorry?
He can take part if he's divine, right? I mean, he just got to lecture at us.
I ask you one simple question. I don't need just prove to me right now that the Earth, when we know through our senses that it's motionless.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
I'm not relying on any external knowledge unless my senses. That's all. We know this. It's an undeniable fact.
That's your loss, man.
We know this. Yeah, it's not mine. I know if I bring any. Okay.
What good are eyes that can't see? You see something flat, but you call it round. Those are eyes that can't see.
Absolutely, Lemon. That's the point.
That can't feel.
Those
are
gibberish.
Useless, senses. But
I can trust my senses. What I don't trust is your senses.
Thanks, Lemon.
Eyes that don't see, ears that don't hear, brains that don't think.
But the thing is that senses become useless if they're not giving you accurate information. That's all. So you're saying that your senses are what? Useless? Inaccurate?
Yes.
That's what they've been brainwashed about.
That's why it's trying to, sell us. They say that our senses are limited and flawed. That's what they claim.
Right.
Completely absurd.
What's wrong with that? How is
that absolute absurdity?
Name one person with perfect senses. Go ahead.
How the hell is that absurd to say that? That our senses have limitations.
Oh my lord! Our senses are perfect. They were designed, perfect, mate.
I'm checking out.
That's his problem right there. He believes that.
That's obviously idiotic.
Yeah, but he's idiotic
because why? Because why?
Because you're now claiming infallibility. That
no.
Cannot be wrong.
I'm speaking from my listen to my
divine perspective.
I'm speaking here purely from my human perspective. Infallibility to me from my own senses. Yes,
we know. For instance,
absolutely, I say yes, mate.
We know, for instance, our senses are limited. We're surrounded by. Listen, we're surrounded by radio waves, but You can't detect them. Right?
Yeah, they're limited, but they're not illusory. They're not deceptive.
No, mate. Just okay. These guys, like, they completely.
I think when we talk about our senses, we're also talking about our reasoning that goes along with our senses, right? Because we don't just sense things; we sense things and then apply some sort of reasoning, and that's where the flaws are, right?
Do you apply conscious reasoning?
Not always.
Okay.
Oh my lord, mate.
But that's how we can have an optical illusion, for instance. Right? Our eyes are still, picking up the same amount of photons being reflected from, the groovy poster or whatever it is, but we perceive it as something different to what it is.
Perceive it based upon what? You perceive... Now, you conflict in senses and consciousness and reason.
Well, I don't think...
You conflict in terms, mate. Don't play idiotic, mate.
If you want to separate out your senses, give me an example of when you use your senses but don't use any reason.
No. But I understand they are in it's an implicit interaction between between reason and senses. But you say that senses are tools that we use. Reason is obviously a tool that we use to come to a particular level of understanding.
Regardless of how you want to divide
and your understanding of the natural world, it comes down to the degree, amount of knowledge you gather.
Regardless of how you want to divide it up, you are not infallible. You are your senses, your personal senses are not supreme to all knowledge, and you can make mistakes.
Hold on a minute. You're trying to entertain this narrative. Hold on a minute.
No, not hold on a minute. I'm talking. You can make mistakes. You can misinterpret things, and your senses do have limitations. They don't detect everything. And pretending that they do, and then drawing conclusions from the fact that you haven't detected something is ridiculous and definitely is not intellectually honest.
No. Once again, you're completely absurd and intellectually dishonest, right? Let me tell you why. Because once again, I'm speaking here. You don't understand. This is your problem, Jim Panda. You don't understand. Your problem. The reason why you don't understand, you conflict in everything. And the very reason why everything seems to you like, is flawed. No. I'm speaking purely from my human perspective, the way we design just listen carefully. As a human, my senses from my human perspective, they are perfect.
10 sentences.
They are perfect.
Said anything.
Sorry?
Make a point.
This is the point. First of all, you have to understand. You must get in, man. You have to understand that your senses are not flawed and not limited. They are perfect. As a human being, don't compare yourself to other creatures, to God as a human being.
What is currently being transmitted on Radio 1? Because your senses are not limited. Mate. You can detect radio waves. So what is the presenter currently saying on Radio 1 at the moment?
Mate, I'm telling you, what you experience now, for instance, you know that the earth, the bloody thing you stood on is motionless. Yes or no? Is it?
Jim, the problem is
you experience your senses tells you, dictates the motionless earth. Full stop. Don't bloody bring in you have... No, mate. This is your reason. This is your senses what dictates.
You don't have the ability to detect just just emotion, do you? You can detect acceleration.
I mean, it's not hard, skeptical. Your senses are limited to the extent that you don't sense everything.
I don't buy.
Hey, stop interrupting, dude. Just let people talk. Your senses are limited in the sense that you don't sense every single thing that's happening. There are things that happen that we do not sense, like radio waves.
Like what?
Hold on, for fuck's sake! What is your issue, dude? Just let people finish.
Give me example.
No, how about shut the fuck up when I'm talking, and then when I'm done, you can say I don't understand what you said, or you can say some argument against it. But if you interrupt every single time, it gets us so fucking annoying.
Scott,
I just told you. Explain what you don't perceive radio waves. You don't sense velocity. There are things that your senses do not sense. So to that extent, they are limited.
He doesn't sense what you're saying, Scott.
Okay, you're trying to completely reduce my senses to the micro level.
I'm saying that things you do not sense.
That's obvious. That's obvious. Do you know obvious self-evident truth? Micro
why do you point to a lack of sense in something as evidence that it doesn't exist?
No. You are entertaining. No. You are conflicting terms there. Once again, are you speaking from my macro or micro level? They are two different things. I know, obviously, I can sense that.
Even with what you're saying, it's wrong.
Sorry?
Even with what you're saying, it's still wrong. It's still limited because our senses can't detect danger in the dark as well as they can when it's daytime.
But you don't have to. That's obvious.
You don't have to detect danger.
They do have to detect danger if you want to live.
Oh my lord, man! You detect danger.
I think we have another question too. I mean, we can't sense everything, but not quite the
Thank you. You can't sense everything.
What we do
Therefore,
sense,
you're not perfect.
Accurate. But is it accurate enough what we do sense, like flatness as opposed to curvature? Is that
That's a different question. He says he's perfect. His senses are perfect. He can detect whatever he wants to detect.
He's saying our senses are perfect as human beings.
Hold on. Because you don't understand. Okay, God, like, fucking hell.
I get what you're saying. You're just wrong.
This is the problem. If you embrace materialism, this is what it leads to. It leads to such thing. You don't understand. You don't even level, approach, value your consciousness. And that's the point. If you train your senses, if you basically push and value them, of course you're gonna understand that you come obviously the same conclusive argument that your senses are perfect from a human perspective. Once again,
no, perfect senses have to be trained now. You're changing your argument, dude.
No. Hold on a minute.
You just said that. You just said they had to be trained.
Okay. Of course, you can train your senses, mate. You can train that if you value them.
They're not perfect. If you can improve upon them, they're not perfect to begin with.
That's two different points. No, the way you design it first, initially, you will design it's perfect, but training, that's a different phase. That means, sort of trying to, improve, enhance your level of seeing things and perceiving the world around you. That's a different discussion. But I'm talking from an initial creation perspective. Hey, you're perfect. God created you in a perfect shape.
Initial creation perspective.
Yes, mate. Yes, mate. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because God created this is the divine perspective, mate. You don't.
Regardless of all that, wherever you think we came from, in our current state, our senses are not flawless. And our associated reasoning. We can make mistakes, we can misinterpret things, and we can't detect everything. And you are pretending that you can, and then drawing.
No.
And that's nuts.
But once again, you're implying detection. Detect what? Detect like what?
Well,
I'm asking you a simple question. Detect what?
We were talking
you're imposing something which is you sort of trying to overburden you.
Talking about the movement of the earth. We were talking about the movement of the earth, weren't we?
Exactly, mate. We know obviously that our senses dictate that the earth is motionless. Full stop.
No.
Yes, mate. What do you mean? No. Are you flying now in the universe at the moment?
Also dictate that the earth is devoid of all radio waves. Is that true?
Well, we can sense some of them, and if we can sense 20 miles in a car, we can.
Wait a minute! I want to hear the answer to that. I want to hear the answer to that question. The radio waves.
Oh my lord!
The thing is, we're not being consistent with our analysis of our senses. If we can feel 20 miles per hour in a car, We can feel 66,000 miles through space, so it's
No,
absurd.
we are.
Who,
You're not.
who said the Earth was devoid of radio waves?
Who said that they can detect velocity?
If you can detect a slower speed, you can detect a greater speed. It's
You can't, though.
It's not the speed you detect, though, Lemon. If you knew anything about biology, you may have come across this before.
So what you're saying that we detect what? Acceleration, but not motion?
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, the thing is that's
what nerve
problematic
ending
because
detects
you're
velocity,
vibrating.
Lemon? What nerve in your
But
body
you're
detects
vibrating.
velocity?
But you're vibrating at all times. So by that metric
What?
alone,
Yeah,
you should
vibrating
feel
has nothing to do with
acceleration
velocity.
constantly.
What?
That's constant movement, constant acceleration.
Vibration is a series of rapid accelerations.
What? We're vibrating all the time?
Yeah.
Even under
So
that
by
case,
that
if you feel
definition,
vibration, you're
Plain
feeling acceleration.
insanity.
Lemon,
by that metric, you
Lemon,
should feel
turn the
acceleration
vibrator
at all
off
times.
and you'll stop vibrating.
Right. This is some grinder
Hold on.
thing he's got going on.
Hold on, let me find the off switch. Hold on. All right.
Oh, is that what that
time,
was?
time and a place. Time and a place, man.
But seriously, it's a little inconsistent to say we're feeling 20 miles in a car, but not 60,000 miles.
You can't feel 20 miles an hour in a car. That's the point. You keep saying that, but you can't. No, you can't.
Yeah, I
No,
feel the
you
wheels. I feel the wind. I see the
You don't
stuff
feel the wind,
passing
bro?
by. Yeah, even within the car.
No,
I'll
you
tell you what, Lemon, if you've ever driven a car with a broken speedo, you will know how difficult it is to judge your speed.
Oh, yeah.
Because it is all you can do is judge it by the speed other cars are going. You'd be astounded how hard it is to judge.
But as a brave truth teller and truth seeker, it's
Who?
very
You?
suspicious that all of the myself, yeah.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
It's very suspicious that all the metrics that we would use to find the truth of this moving Earth statement are taken away from us systematically by excuses. That alone is very suspicious if we feel 20 miles per hour in a car, but all of a sudden can't feel thousands of miles in space.
We don't. Can you feel 350 miles an hour in an airplane?
In an airplane, no, because it's contained.
Ah.
It is
but somehow
we're accelerating.
It is contained, so you're implying that the Earth is fundamentally contained. Okay, then the Earth is flat.
No, doesn't follow.
Same thing follows if you're riding a bike. You feel the acceleration.
But
well, then you feel the wind too, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you want to say the wind,
could be in a hurricane though, and don't know how fast you're really going.
Well, a hurricane has a calm in the middle, but the outside is pretty tumultuous. I mean, it's just suspicious that this is true, but all the ways to figure out that it's true have been taken away systematically.
Nope, they're not. Only in your mind.
So, Mr. Mackey, how do we tell that we're moving through space?
You just reject them all.
How do we tell that we're moving through space then, since we don't feel thousands of more miles per hour in space? How do we tell?
Well, I'm sure the 1,000th time explained to you is not going to work, so why bother?
It's interesting to see how, if any way, you determine truth beyond, the group and consensus. How your individual mind functions, if in any way at all. That's not how I determine
truth. That's not how I do it. I mean, stop accusing me of stuff you have no idea.
I just believe
the truth of us moving through space.
No, I mean, you just said I determine truth by consensus, and that's just not true. But you need to believe that for some reason. You can go ahead and believe that. I don't care.
To explain, but you're not doing it, so you're not.
No, you're not. You're just making an accusation.
For the third time, how do you determine whether or not we're moving?
You don't care. Why are you asking the question? You're just going to deny whatever I say.
I'm going to assume that you don't have a way.
Yeah, I know you are. Even if I explain it to you, you'd still assume I don't have a way.
Do you have a way?
I'll give you time to Google it if you ever figure it out. Get back at it.
It's okay, Lemon. I don't need to Google it.
You know the way? You don't know what truth is.
You know the way?
The group consensus, and you just parrot the party line.
You're right. You're right, Lemon. You're so much smarter. You're so much smarter than us.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you what's true. We're not moving. And they're bullshitting you if they're telling you that you are when you can't feel lower.
Yeah, that's reasonable. So reasonable.
Yep, exactly. Because you said it, I'm going to believe it.
Okay, so here's a question to the Globe Earthers. We haven't been to the moon since, 1960 whatever, 1969 or 71 or whatever it is, right?
Yep.
So my question to you is, how long will it take for us not going to the moon for you guys to believe that it's all bullshit?
Never.
Yeah, never. There would have to be.
So if we go to the moon again, ever, you would still.
It already happened. Of course I would. Why wouldn't I?
Because if we could do it, then why, we should be able to do it again.
If it was always fake from the beginning, why can't we keep doing it then? If it was always fake from the beginning, why did they ever stop? I mean, we continue to have HD ISS tours, right?
I keep faking it.
Where everybody is floating. I mean, if we're able to do that, then what does it matter that we went whether we went to the moon or not? They could just keep faking it, right?
Yeah, of course.
In fact, the fact that they haven't been there since '72 is more evidence that they're not faking it. Because if they could fake it, and they already can fake all the space stuff, all the spacewalks, right? We've got the IMAX video of the Hubble telescope being deployed and repaired and all that stuff. I mean, if they could fake all that, then they could have just easily faked more moon missions,
they
right?
don't want to risk it. They faked it once, and it's
but they risk launching rockets. They risk launching rockets practically every week. They risk constant ISS footage, live streams, and HD tours, and yada yada yada. They risk that, but they won't risk going to the moon.
Have you seen the compilations of all of the CGI fails and stuff from them faking shit?
Oh God.
Why would they take the risk of faking it again?
But they continue to do it though, right? So they're not that worried, right? Because they have all those failures, right? But they still keep doing it, so they don't seem to care too much, right? Because everyone else buys it,
yeah,
right?
most of the population are buying it. They're sheep that just believe what they're told.
So then they could just keep doing. So they could just keep doing fake moon missions. They could just keep doing fake moon missions. And if there's mistakes, there's mistakes because people just keep buying it, right?
Yeah,
it's not a big deal.
That's
just like the
ISS was fake the
right?
first time.
Right. So why don't they just keep doing it then?
They are.
No. You just said that there's no one that's gone back to the moon since '72.
They're still talking about sending rovers to the moon and to Mars and all this other bullshit that they're not actually doing. They're faking it constantly.
Right. So
in terms of people on the moon, most of the people are pacified. My question to you is:
so then why don't they just keep faking it then?
Future,
pacified.
Yeah. They are telling telling people that they'll have commercial flights to the moon or to space or whatever, and you'll be able to visit it and stuff like that. I'm saying going forward in the future, how long of a time will it take where these don't happen that you'll start thinking?
Yeah, but look, if it's always fake, why would they have stopped doing it though? You're still not telling me. You said that they're afraid of getting caught, but then I brought up all the other stuff that's fake, and that you say, "Oh, they're caught all the time." Well, then why do they care about getting caught on the moon?
I just told you they're still faking other missions, right? They're constantly faking it. But in terms of people on the moon, there's enough of the masses, the ignorant masses, that believe that shit hook, line, and sinker because they're trusting in their goal.
So why wouldn't they keep faking? It would bring more attention to them to stop faking it than to keep on faking it. So why don't they keep faking it?
They do keep faking it with other missions. I'm telling you, bro.
No, but
you're not understanding.
But you just said they haven't sent anyone to the moon since '72.
Yeah,
they haven't faked the moon. They haven't faked the man.
You guys need to stop talking past each other. This is ridiculous.
No, it's getting crazy.
Go ahead, bro.
You just said, look, they haven't faked a manned moon mission since 1972. How much longer are they going to keep from faking another one until you guys believe that it's fake?
Yeah.
And then I just said, well, look, if they faked it in '72 and they keep faking all the 130 however many shuttle missions, right? They faked all those.
They've faked all this other stuff, the ISS stuff, the Chinese have faked stuff, right? Everybody's faked all this stuff. Why haven't they faked the moon mission? Why hasn't anybody faked the moon mission if all of it is fake? Why would they bring suspicion to the fake space?
So here's the answer. Because there's enough people that believe it, and they keep on giving these promises of like commercial flights and, you know, all the stuff that's going to happen in the future, and then they distract them with something or another, and they push that back, and it keeps on happening. They pacify people. You know, they found a balance of how to pacify people and how to get them to not wake up.
If they've pacified all these people, why are they still launching? If they've pacified people, why do they go through the effort to spend, you know, tens of millions of dollars to launch rockets practically every week that just apparently, according to you guys, just splash into the ocean, right? Why do they keep doing that? Why do they keep launching these fake rockets all the time, spending millions of dollars? And why do they keep producing all this other footage constantly?
That's part of the pacification. That's part of maintaining appearances that they're actually going into space.
So that part of it is part of pacification, but continuing fake manned moon missions isn't for some reason.
Yeah, because that's too risky. They did it once. They did a poor job. But even with these small ones, there's like I said, compilations of all the CGI fails and stuff like that.
So why is
that you're putting people on the moon and stuff? People will pay way more attention to that. They'll be under much more scrutiny. They don't need to do it yet. Enough of the masses believe that it actually happened, so they're pacified in that regard. My question is, since they keep on promising these missions and stuff and then delaying them, and this has been happening for 50 years, what point?
That's not true, though, and
that is true. It's been happening since 1975.
Hang on. Well, nothing's been delayed. What do you say has been delayed? Because what happened is that when Nixon came to power, he set up this committee to look at NASA and their expenditure, and they came up with a plan for what NASA should do, which was to make a space shuttle and a space station and to do robotic missions. And that's what they've done. That plan was published in 1970, and that's what we've seen them do. There's no political will for them to go back to the moon. You've just got this idea, as usual, that you're entitled to have people go and prove things to you. And that because... Hang on. And that because we're able to go back to the moon, we definitely should be going back to the moon. Now, final point. Now, I'm aware that US presidents like to say, oh, we're going to go back to the moon. But there hasn't been any delayed plan. It's just a thing they say to get elected or to get popular at some point. But there hasn't been any solid plan to go to the moon that's been delayed.
You can say that, but they've made promises to return to the moon time and time again.
Right, but that's just a bit of electioneering. There isn't actually anything on paper where they've said, right, this is the plan, this is how we're going to do it, right? That hasn't happened.
Well, where's the line between politicking and actually, promising that this is going to happen? At what point are they not telling the truth?
It's all politics, isn't it? Everything in your country is done like this, isn't it? This is how a democracy works. A president might say something, or some politician somewhere might say something, but ultimately they have to get funding for it. Ultimately, the other people have to agree to it. So sometimes people will say things with, they're emphatic about achieving some goal or whatever, but often sometimes those things just don't come to be. And I don't know why they have. I mean, I know they do it, US presidents. I don't know why. You would think by now,
to maintain appearances, to pacify the people.
How does it pacify the people? Nobody cares if they go back to the moon.
Yes, they do.
What is the nature of
the natural progression of space travel? The natural progression is that humans travel to these nearby, planets nearby
The guy who doesn't believe in space and the moon wants to tell us about the progression of the
It's not a
space
natural
race.
progression, is it? We've already done it.
No, we haven't.
Well,
I
yes,
don't believe in the moon, but I'll tell you about how it's supposed to work.
Yeah, how it would work if we actually
I'll
could
tell you
go.
how it works,
That's the
even though I don't
nature.
know anything about it.
Listen, that's the nature of humanity. We are curious
That's the nature of
creation.
fucking
We would want to
Dunning-Kruger.
go and venture out and experience this stuff. It
That's
applies
the
with
nature of
every single
Dunning-Kruger.
aspect of our lives.
Doesn't
So if it was
prove
real,
it.
that would be the
You're
case.
not.
That's why people like to hear it. That's why they're pacified by it.
No, that's the nature of Dunning-Kruger, thinking that you know more about a subject that you have no expertise in.
Yeah.
I obviously know more than you, bro.
How's that?
Good one.
How did you come to know more than everybody else? What did you do?
Did I say everyone else?
No. Tell us about your studies. Tell everything you've learned. We'll listen.
He's already done. He hasn't done
Where'd you
it.
study, man? Talk to us.
Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry
What
about it.
experiment have you done
Where'd you
to confirm
study?
that the moon is fake?
Judge the message, not the messenger.
Where did
No,
you
how about we
study
judge
for
the
everything?
content?
Exactly.
You have no
Yeah, you
content.
did you? Yeah.
You said
Don't know
judge the
shit about
message. Your
anything.
message has been deemed as bullshit. So
We-
now
we
we want to
have-
see
yeah.
who the messenger is.
Yeah, we've judged your message.
Don't worry about it, man. I have
It-
nothing to
your
prove to you
message-
guys. I don't need to.
Actually,
I don't
you
need
have-
to
you have
like
plenty to
list
prove.
off my,
No,
my accomplishments or
That
accolades
statement is
or
crap.
degrees or whatever. I
That
don't need to
statement
do
is
any of that.
crap.
Yeah, I know you don't.
That's what a grifter would
You
say.
have a burden of proof that you are failing miserably to provide.
That's exactly what a grifter would
proof
say.
do I
I don't have
have?
to prove this
What
to you.
claim did I
Just
make,
take my word
bro?
for it.
Did you make? Are you serious?
Take my word for it. With don't you guys just listen to everything you say? Take my word for it.
You claimed you're intellectually honest.
I am.
We'll take you at your words and not your word. We judge your message, and we can tell from your message you're not intellectually honest.
Sure.
We can tell you don't even know what the word even means, actually. So,
By what academic
you're
standard can you
projecting.
call bullshit on a mission to the moon?
What was that?
By what academic standard can you call bullshit on a mission landing on the moon?
What do you mean
Space
academic
theory.
standard?
You know, for all the words that you throw out in your crappy statements, you can't understand a simple sentence like that.
try intellectual
No,
standard,
I understand what you're, but it's the wrong word to use because academic just means like institutionalized education, indoctrination.
No, it doesn't.
So
No,
why
what
would
that
I rely
means-
on that? Why would I fall back on that? I'd rather just fall back on empiric or scientific evidence. You don't need to have to be in academia
What's
to
your
practice
empirical or
science.
scientific
Okay.
evidence then for this?
I'm not the one making the claim. The burden
Yes,
of proof
you
hasn't
are.
been delivered.
all kinds of
There's no empirical
You're not
scientific
making
evidence
a
that we
claim?
went to the moon.
You're claiming that
You're
they
claiming
faked
the moon
it.
missions
You're
did not
claiming it's all
happen.
faked. You're mocking. and
Before
scoffing at the
I need to
idea that
disprove
they
it, it needs to be proven. That's the way that's the way it works.
No, it's
We've
not.
already proven
Like,
that.
that's the
Hold on
way
a minute.
that's the way logic and that's the way arguments
We've
work.
already proven
That's
that.
the way the claims
It
work.
is not. It is not logical or intellectually honest to have the default position that it was all fake. That's just not an intellectually honest position.
No, that's not the default position. That's the position after the claim was made and hasn't been substantiated with enough empiric or scientific evidence, with any empiric or scientific evidence.
It's been established with plenty of evidence. You just choose to
No,
reject
it's never once been actually substantiated with actual evidence, real evidence, not that just like, corroborative or circumstantial or whatever bullshit, let me just trust what my authorities say.
Define what your real evidence is.
I already did, bro. Empirical or scientific evidence.
He doesn't know what evidence is, and he doesn't even know what type of evidence he'd accept. He basically rejects everything.
He rejects everything.
It is
summarily.
You said empirical or scientific evidence, correct?
Yeah, empirical or scientific
Okay,
evidence.
I bounced a laser off the moon in grad school.
How do you know he bounced it off the moon?
Because I encoded the signal.
How do you know you bounced it off the moon and not the ionosphere?
Because if you don't point it at the moon, you don't get the signal back.
Because a laser doesn't bounce. A laser that freaking does not bounce off the ionosphere.
How do you know you bounced it off the moon when you don't even know what the moon is?
There's a retro reflector left by the Apollo missions.
Sure. Some cards going full circle. You have to rely on something that has been proven to prove the thing that you're trying to prove. Come on now.
No,
absolutely.
That's ridiculous.
Reflector, is he? Don't be silly.
The reflector is the fact that you can bounce information off the moon and it can be returned to the Earth from a spot that's known.
You are assuming it's going to the moon.
No, that's evidence that there is something up there that can perform that capability. That device was not there before the moon landing.
Really? Because apparently you guys are saying that Marconi bounced radio waves off the ionosphere. So obviously there's something up there that can stuff.
Radio waves and lasers, the same thing.
It's a laser, not a radio.
Both of them apparently bend due to refraction and bounce off the ionosphere.
And this is more of your Dunning-Kruger showing.
I know, it's crazy.
What's the difference in terms of they're both EMF waves?
What's the difference between radio waves and lasers?
They're both EMF waves. Why not?
No, they're not.
Actually,
really, radio waves aren't on the EMF spectrum, and lasers aren't either. You're not making sense, bro.
Come on.
Are they not EMF waves?
They're not the same thing.
Are they EMF waves or not?
What you're proving is that no matter what evidence anybody gives you, you're just going to reject it. You just proven it again.
I'm showing you that you guys.
No, you're not showing us anything.
Empirical or scientific evidence.
You're not showing us anything.
We've been asking you to show us one thing.
You're saying you're stupid, and you think you're showing us something. You're not showing.
It's not my claim. The burden of proof is on the positive claim, on the claimant. You guys are claiming this happened, and you haven't proven it. You haven't provided evidence.
You claimed a hoax that you have no evidence of. That's a positive claim.
No.
Yes.
It's not I'm not disproving it until it's been proven. You can't disprove something that's been proven.
It is a positive claim. I'm sorry.
You can't disprove something that has been proven. I'm not going to prove a negative to you just because you guys don't have the balls to prove this positive claim of yours.
You claimed a hoax. You haven't proven a hoax.
The proof is
not a negative claim.
Is in the chat right now. Ham radio operators can
you don't have any empirical
bounce signals off the moon, and they do it all the time.
Why?
It's out there all over the place. Anyone
you know they go to the moon
radio operator's license, you can bounce.
Because they're not fucking idiots like you.
Yourself.
That's how we know.
How do you know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that it's going to the moon, bouncing off the moon?
Because if you move your antenna a little way off the moon axis, you do not get a signal back.
Which is reasonable for everybody but him.
And you could also get a signal back when you're not even aiming at the moon. So what's your point?
No, you cannot.
Yes, you actually can.
No, you can't.
You cannot.
Wait, hang on. Now he's made a claim now.
Because the timing, if it's coming back
someone saw this video of a guy that moved his apparatus 5 meters because he was aiming at the right area and he couldn't get a signal. He moved it 5 meters on the ground and aimed at the same exact area and got a signal.
And was he aiming at the moon with a laser?
No,
radio
signal.
Oh, okay. Well,
radio.
I guess then maybe your point isn't valid.
We're talking about radio, bro. Do you even listen to what he said? He said ham radio.
No, that was not the initial claim. You're the one who changed it to radio.
We'll keep up with the conversation, bro.
Well, if you keep altering the conversation from its initial and
Scott's the one that said ham radio, man. Stay on topic.
I've done this. I'm a ham radio operator. I've done this.
Yeah, again, how do you know it's bouncing off of the moon?
Because I move. If I move my antenna and point away from the moon, if I'm not hitting the moon with my signal, I do not get a signal.
You don't know what the moon is. You don't know what the medium it is.
Okay,
you don't know if the moon is causing some sort of effect on the ionosphere in front of it or something like that. You have no idea what's going on.
Fine.
You don't have enough information to make a claim.
It's a solid object. I know it's different. There's a different thing there. When you don't know it's a solid object, when you point at the moon, you do get a signal back.
Scott, let me just say, I'm with you. Like, it's a likely assumption. It's a likely assumption that you're bouncing it off the moon, but you don't know. That's the issue. You're using abductive reasoning, and you have a probable cause. You have a probable explanation, but you don't actually know because you haven't verified it. You don't have enough information to verify that it's the only explanation.
There's a timing thing there too, where your signal comes back exactly the amount of time that it would take for something to travel that distance that they say the moon is at.
Yep.
So that's
but they say the moon is at that distance because of this sort of things.
No, hang on. There, the distance to the moon can be rectified with other measurements by using parallax.
So this
Sure
is not
can.
it's not a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah,
That's with stars, which you also don't know the distance of.
See more evidence he just rejects.
Come on.
Yeah.
Percent.
Yeah,
I
you
want to
can't-
ask. You know what? I want to ask you an actual question.
With what?
Why are you here? With stuff that you don't know the distance of.
Everything.
Percent. Why are you here? I'm trying to get you guys on the straight and narrow.
For what
You
purpose?
don't present any
For your own
good evidence for us to consider.
How is it my own good?
Willfully ignorant. It's
To
just,
open your eyes.
Exactly.
For what purpose?
but what do we open our eyes to? What you're saying is, don't know stuff anymore. The stuff you know, you don't know. Be stupid.
Absolutely. You know
Be
nothing,
ignorant.
mate. Yeah, mate, you know you're
get
ignorant. Absolutely ignorant, mate.
Yeah, ignorance. Go ignorance. That's what we should
You
do.
know, now
That's
I
our
just
goal.
come to a beautiful
That's our goal.
realization that
Not to know more about reality, but to know less. I mean, it's ridiculous.
reality
You
is
have
in
to
front
know.
of
You
us,
have to
obvious.
admit when you don't know, and you can't just be making it up.
Reality
best
is
guess.
reality is obvious.
What you're doing
Reality is clear. Reality is
inventing
axiomatic.
ways to not know things.
But hold on a minute. Reality tells you that the Earth is flat and
Something
motionless.
the extreme.
No, it doesn't.
Obviously, that's what it dictates.
Nope, it
Obviously,
does not.
it's an obvious
It does
reality.
not.
We in fact
Nope.
you came and you say, "Oh, it's curved. Oh, it's non." Sorry, mate.
No, it doesn't.
It's a celebration of ignorance.
Goodbye,
that's what you're
heliocentric
doing.
model, mate.
You're saying I'm ignorant and you should be ignorant like me too.
Yeah,
No, because
somehow it's going to make your life
now
better.
you're trying to
But it-
value a knowledge that has been produced, that has been the product of your mind, not reality. Oh, I think that the ball that the Earth is like whatever is is a unicorn.
This is a product
I
of your
believe in it.
mind.
I believe
It's a
in it.
product of your mind. It's your epistemology.
I believe
It's your
that the Earth
epistemology that
is a
you're
unicorn.
deciding on, isn't it? You're the
More
guys
words
making
saying
the
nothing.
rules.
I believe
and saying
that
these
the
are
Earth
the
is-
things
is-
that are evidence
is
and these are the things
like
that
you,
aren't.
mate.
Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
We can barely hear you over this dumbass talking.
Fuck you, mate.
But the moron won't shut up long enough to listen to anybody.
Look, if you have a learning
He's gotta
disability,
save us.
you don't go flaunting that you know more than other people, okay? That's just ridiculous.
So
Because
why are
you
you
know,
trying to save
you're trying
us?
you argue from
You should write it
within your
down so you
mind,
don't
and that's the
forget.
problem. That's the
Just write
biggest
it down.
problem.
Write it
You
down
don't-
with paper and pencil so you can erase the spelling mistakes.
I'm telling
I
you,
wanna
mate.
know why
Just,
everybody's trying to
you
save
just speaking within your mind, within your refined reality. Let reality, the physical, natural world dictate your thought, not your mind. That's the problem, right?
Yeah, no, I don't rely on your mind or my mind.
That's you really handicapped this reality. Sorry, mate. I'm telling you.
It's not a handicap. The one who's handicapped is the one who denies the
You
evidence
don't
of reality.
understand. You know that the Earth is obviously
The
flat
one
and
who's
motionless.
deluded is the one that ignores the evidence of reality in preference to their own
It's obvious.
delusion.
That's self-axiomatic, self-evident truth, flat. We experience flatness, we experience motionless.
That's self-evident.
Obviously, that's self-evident. I don't need no science, mate. It's obvious. Clarity is everywhere.
There we go. Right there.
Why
I don't need to know. There you
Why
go.
are you using electricity and the internet then if you don't need science? Why are you on Discord? You don't
Why
need
is he
science.
here?
The topic of electricity that's a different discussion.
Go back to
Don't
burning,
conflict.
I'm
I'm teaching you
candles
today.
for your life.
I'm coming here
Don't
to
use
educate you
electricity.
personally, right?
Please
Don't
don't argue
conflict.
about electricity.
Don't
Back to
conflict
the
medicine and astronomy. Don't conflict. Don't conflict biology with
hypocrite.
astronomy.
You're a
That's two
hypocrite.
different
You
fields. mate.
disregard
Don't
science
conflict.
when it's convenient for your
Your mind
narrative.
must be
And when it
strength
benefits
specific.
you turn a blind eye to
I'm
that.
telling you,
And
mate.
you
Hold
think
on a
that's
minute.
okay. You think
I'm
that's
telling you
honest.
because I'm coming here to basically,
That's really what
try
Jesus would do.
wise
Jesus would
you
tell you to be
up
a
a little
hypocrite.
bit. I'm
For
here to
what
wisen
end?
you up, right? To make
Why?
you wise and
Why?
to use your mind properly, right?
Why?
This
What's
is
in it for
because
us?
you guys, you're telling us, you're lying to me. I've been brainwashed.
What's in it for us if you wisen us?
I have to, okay, one. You claim, once again, I've been brainwashed.
What's in it for us? Just answer that
I've been
question.
told at school, I've been told, hold on a minute.
I
I've been
don't want to
told
know
at
what I
school-
was. I want to know what's in it for
Right.
me if I believe you.
I've been told at school that obviously I've been brainwashed that the Earth is curved. Obviously it's flat. I've been brainwashed that the Earth is
Why
rotating
are you so easy to brainwash?
is motion. I've been told that the
Anyone
Earth
can brainwash
is a ball. when in fact it's flat.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So every single that's the reality, mate.
So what's in
So
it
you
for
have
us?
to Sorry?
What's in it for us if we believe you?
Do you mean by what? I'm here to basically open your mind.
Why?
To basically reflect and
You're here to open my mind. For what end?
I'm here to tell you, right? Value, right? Value your own senses, right? That's the fundamental thing.
I already do that. Okay, next.
What you have to do. And you have to be
Already do that.
grateful
What's next?
for the senses you have. And reflect, right? That's all you have. Reflect.
You just roboted, I
spend your
can't
time,
hear you.
meditate, right? Give yourself some time.
Already do that. What's next?
Exactly, mate. Just
doesn't
start
have
with
anything
this.
for you.
If you do come back next time, then I'll teach you the second phase.
Oh, this is like a Scientology where you got to put money in and to get to the next level.
So, mate, obviously, man, that's. I mean, you guys just like I understand the psychology of peer pressure. This peer pressure psychology. So almost being like a sheep, and like, you know,
well, you're still not telling me what's in it for me, man.
He wants to have
the only thing that has
the satisfaction of making you woke.
I'm telling you, just to value your own God-given senses. That's all I'm telling you.
If he makes you woke, it's like a Mormon converting another person to be Mormon.
Forget religions. Forget. I'm telling you, just value your own senses.
Apparently, we should forget everything, right? We should be like, we don't know what anything is in the sky. We don't know what causes the sun and the moon to set. We don't know anything, right? We don't know what causes solar and lunar eclipses. We don't know what causes phases of the moon. We don't know any of this stuff, right?
Nope.
If this is the ultimate truth, if this is the ultimate truth, why are you here on Discord trying to convince the world? Why aren't you out there in mainstream media?
I'm not here to. I'm not telling you to embrace nonsense. I'm here to embrace reality. I'm telling you here to embrace what you see, what you observe, what you experience.
But why are you telling us?
I'm telling you.
Go embrace reality by yourself, man.
I'm embracing it, mate. I'm happy. I live a better life, mate. Because I've been completely a sheep like yourself. I've been completely in this. You know, mate. Now, after I
heard this one.
I did come to a beautiful realization, which is that all universities only produce priests and monks. This is the true reality.
I was once a sinner like you, but now I'm saved, right?
Universities unfortunately produce priests, the true priests, mate, like yourself. You don't understand.
Whatever.
You will come to the realization after a deep reflection. That's all I'm saying.
The priests that make all the technology that you use every day, right?
Value the God-given senses, value what you have, and just wake up. On reality, wake up.
I think most of us here already value what we have. We're good with that.
No, you don't absolutely don't value.
If that's all you have, then
say,
you ain't got much to
ask a simple question. I ask a simple question. Can you show me that the bloody object is moving? In fact, you're trying to apply this sim. You have nothing. No, you have nothing.
I know. We can't show you that. That's for sure.
Obviously, mate. Sorry.
All right. So we good now? Are we done?
Absolutely, mate. I'm done, mate. I'm gonna speak. I'm free. I'm an independent thinker. But do you mute your microphone again if you want to mute your microphone, mate? It's fine.
No,
Next, come along.
I'd like to send you out an invitation.
What are you doing here now?
Well, do you know what I'm doing here? I'm here, mate. I'm free. I'm not here I'm not abiding to your authority to dictate. I'm not a sheep like yourself. Sorry, man. I'm free to come and leave the time I want.
You're not a sheep, you're a parrot.
We would like to invite you to share your opinions with your psychiatrist and not us.
I can leave when I want. I can stay as long as they want, right? You have to say, right, to speak. So,
but will you ever shut up?
Yeah, you are rambling, dude. Not really saying anything.
I can't shut up, mate.
You don't have to tell me. You don't
have to tell me to shut up,
mate.
You don't have, right?
I just asked you if you ever will.
Does it make
Yeah,
you a
you
proud
don't have
flat
to.
earther?
This
There are
is
rules
actually,
that I
like,
respect. There are
awoken.
some which is
Making the
called
most of
rules.
everybody on the server.
He's joined a prestigious group of drug addicts
This guy
and
uses
criminals.
his brain. He doesn't just believe
I
whatever he's
know
told.
this is ad homs, logical fallacies again, ad homs
He
attacking the
definitely
person.
sounds like someone I want to
That's
be
all
like
you
this
have,
guy.
mate. Instead of sticking to the argument, you're attacking the person. That's all you have. Stupidity, name calling.
There
that's
is
all
no
you have in
argument
your
to attack. You're just
language,
sitting here
mate.
preaching. You're not even
That's all
presenting
you
an
have,
argument.
mate. Start to the argument. Prove that the earth is motionless, mate. Prove that the earth is moving.
That's
Prove
your
it.
job
You
to
have
prove that it's not
show
moving.
me evidence. I'm coming. Show me
can't.
evidence. You have nothing. Sorry.
We can't. You're right. We have nothing.
You can't. That's
We
the
have no
point.
evidence.
You're right.
Thank
You're
you.
right.
For the
Thank you
earth
for
not
conceding
moving.
my point. You know.
All
Thank you for your
right.
concession.
What
Thank you, mate.
go on from
Thank
here?
you. Today, one
What
ball
are
I
you building
conceded that the
towards?
earth is
What are
actually
you going
motionless.
to help
Thank you.
improve
Welcome to flat
yourself
earth.
or the world?
Next.
What
Welcome
are you
to
going to
flat earth.
build
Next.
towards?
You guys just conceded that the earth is motionless. Next person.
No, we didn't. We said you don't have any evidence that it's motionless.
You
That was
guys,
what
your
I
friend
said.
who's mumbling, just he conceded openly and he says motionless. Welcome to flat earth, mate.
Okay, thank you.
So,
Thank you. You get to warm welcome, Scott Mackey. Enjoy
so
your
what
time.
are you
Thank you.
going to build towards? What
You
are you
convinced
going
me.
to make that's going to help you or help somebody else?
Mate.
What's next past what
What's
you already
next?
have?
Next person. Let's okay. Bring you evidence for that the earth is moving. Show
don't
me.
have
You
Show me
didn't
evidence,
understand the question. Let me try
Yeah.
again.
I'm
What
asking
are
you once
you
again, show
building
me.
towards? What
Because
are
you
you
believe,
going
mate.
to help yourself? What are you going to do that's either going to improve the world for you or for somebody else or for everybody?
Absolutely improve it every day, every second,
Always
mate.
improve it when the
Improves
earth is
my
flat. It's all good, man.
He completely, like, you know, place me on the highest, you know, position. I'm asking you once again, going back to the same question, right? Show me that the earth is obviously moving.
We can't.
The
prove
question was for you to build something from this
I'm
point
asking
you're at
you,
towards something improved.
don't divert from the question.
What is
You
useful
divert.
about flat Earth? Absolutely nothing. Huh.
Show me that the earth is moving.
Can't.
Simple question. Simple question. You can't answer it.
I
You
know, we
can't. It's
can't.
impossible.
We can't show it to you.
can't. Because
We can't
it
show it
is.
to you, that's
It's
true.
been created as a motionless, beautiful plane. This is a reality, mate.
You're mental, mate. You're fucking mental.
I know, Jem.
This
This is the reality. This is your answer, Jem. You're gonna escape to the same language name. Call him mental. I'm not mental, mate.
But do you think? Listen, hold on a minute. Think about the conversations that you've been in your life. Think about the conversations that you've seen on TV or that you've overheard. Does this seem like one of those conversations?
Mate, I used to be like you. I used to be an authority abuser.
Never like that.
I was a sinner like you, and now I'm
I used to
saved.
be ashamed. I
You
used
were
to be
never
like
like
you.
that.
I
Killing
listened.
his lines, Jake.
I believed blindly in anything.
No,
For
yeah, we
granted.
don't.
I took everything for granted.
Well,
oh yes,
yeah.
sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
difference
Right.
between me and you.
It's
I
beautiful.
never did
Oh,
that.
right. Oh, the moon landed. Oh,
You're
the
right. We
Mars
don't
landed.
believe a bunch of drug addicts and convicted criminals that the Earth is flat. Wow.
Mate, I'm telling you, universities unfortunately only produce priests.
Yeah,
And you
priests that make like all the devices that you use every day, including this phone that you're
all the
on.
knowledge you have, all the semantics that you are a product of chance. You are living in a
All right,
spinning
Jeff. I think it's time to give him a little break.
Yeah,
all that is the knowledge is the product of the
if
devil.
you don't
man.
shut
You
up, I'm going to
understand?
mute you, man, because you're
So
boring.
that's the reality. At the end of the day, you are serving the devil.
There we go. That's it right there. We're serving the devil. There's the answer that we've been looking for.
So, Jem, you were right on. If you look at the definition of delusion, he means it fully.
Oh yeah.
That exception.
Serving the devil, man. I mean, come on. What more proof do you need that it's just deluded?
Well, I mean, that definition doesn't strictly hold to beliefs that are considered to be like religious beliefs. They're kind of given a pass, but clearly when he says the other stuff that doesn't make any sense and is completely contradicted by the available evidence, he's deluded.
I wouldn't be so quick to classify believing that we're all serving the devil as a religious belief. That crosses.
No, I'm not counting that. I'm the other religious stuff that he was saying. I mean, he can believe that the world's created and stuff like that. That's considered a normal belief.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But that we're in service of the devil, I mean, that's just pure psychosis right there.
Normal. Yeah. That's what crazy people tell me. Like, they call me the devil when I'm taking care of them. And then they get their psych meds and eventually they get better.
Is that right?
Yeah. Or they get the, the ECT, the electrocution therapy.
I thought that's only used for depression. I thought that was mainly for depression, no?
Yeah, mainly for depression. But, you can have like depression with psychosis. It's very good for that, the psychosis part especially. I don't know if this guy's depressed, though.
He doesn't sound depressed.
What do you think about excited?
Manic, maybe, but...
Did you say excited delirium?
Yeah, so I'm asking.
It's pretty obvious. The crazy people from the trolls. I mean, we can all agree that percentage is trolling us, right?
I think so.
His mind is just way too on point for him to be, and then the way that he brings up every exception, it's just way too on point for him to not be a troll.
Is he Stiggy?
I'll
That's
take
my
that as a
theory.
compliment.
Is this guy Stiggy? Are you Stiggy %?
You should take it as a compliment,
No,
actually.
Am I what?
But then again, when he said he's trying to save us. Percent.
You say that, Jeff.
What are you
I don't
trying
know
to
if I
save us
believe
from? Percent. What are you trying to save us from?
I like Stiggy.
Trying to save you from being brainwashed.
Okay. And what would that do for us? How would that make our lives better?
Is it not something to aspire to be
Your brain would
to live by truth and not have people take you for a fool and take advantage of you?
Yeah, when people start doing that, I'll worry about it. So how is what you're saying?
Okay,
gonna help
well,
me?
say less, man. If you don't believe it's
How
being
are we
done,
being
then
taken
we have
advantage
nothing
of?
to
Tell
talk
me.
about.
I want you to tell me how we're being taken advantage of.
Yeah, that one.
The mere fact that you're being fooled to, pay even with your tax dollars for this bullshit.
I gotta pay
is
for
being
all
taken
kinds of
advantage
bullshit with my
Honest-
tax dollars, the least of which I worry about is NASA.
Yeah, but I mean, you could call it bullshit because you don't agree with it. But this one it's a complete lie. So it's a little bit different.
But how do you
Not to mention, if they're lying about this, then all of the things that all the ramifications of it, the things that are related to it, and you just have to carry yourself with like you at least when someone's trying to fool you, you're going and you're living life each day in the future. You're cognizant of that, and you can deal with things as they come more clearly.
So it's
And if they aren't lying to us, then it means that you're having an extraordinarily difficult time distinguishing from what's reality and what's not.
Bro, they're already lying to you. I'm trying to wake you up to that.
Yeah.
He has no reliable mechanism to discern reality from not reality. That's his problem.
Con, can you say that
He
again?
doesn't have anything you can fall back onto.
If you guys don't understand the importance of truth, then that's fine.
No, we do.
Well, how you determine what's real from what's not real.
The way you ask that question, it makes me think that you don't, because you wouldn't ask that question if you know how important truth is. The only difference is I believe that what I'm saying is the truth.
Right, I
so you
understand
shouldn't need to ask that question because you should feel the same
How
exact
do
way
you
about it.
confirm what's true and what's not true? Or do you just don't
By
care?
remaining intellectually honest and having actual evidence for
denying everything.
Intellectually honest is not a method.
Deny everything and you get to the truth.
Yeah.
Well, anyone can do that for any position.
Yep.
And clearly that can hold that two contradictory positions are true. So that is not a way to deal with what is true and what's not true.
Yep.
It's cool. You guys are old dogs in this dialectic.
There we go.
I don't expect to teach you guys or to get you guys to drink the water.
You can't teach us any new tricks. Is that what you're going to say? No, dogs. We can't teach you any new tricks.
Yeah, you guys are ingrained in your dogmatic view.
What was that you were saying a bit ago about the message and not the messenger? Or do you forget about that part?
No, that's a statement. That's like a.
Oh, we're old dogs, so we can't understand
based off of your messages, based off your opinions on these topics.
I see.
You guys are you've heard it time and time again. I'm not saying anything new, and you guys won't be.
Know that.
Yeah, you're not so much better for us to sound like that fuckwit that was just in here, huh? Percent.
What's that?
Yeah. It'd be so much better for us to sound like that fuckwit that was just in here, huh?
For me, he's more intelligent than all of you.
He sounded really intelligent, right?
Honest.
It's beautiful, man.
He is intelligent.
It's beautiful, yeah. Everyone that comes out of a university
is definitely
just a priest,
one of the
right?
most intelligent people in this room.
Yeah, they're just making us priests. Everyone that comes out of a university is a priest, right? So,
not everyone.
So where do you go when you get sick, huh? Or if a loved one gets sick, where do you take them? Do you take them to see one of the priests, or do you just say a prayer, or what do you do?
Don't worry about it.
So Jake, is he a troll?
Yeah, he's a troll.
I don't think so, man. I think he believes this shit.
So then he's a liar.
I think he's definitely conspiratorially minded. I'm sure he believes some legit conspiracies, but this is just a game for him.
I don't think so. I could be wrong, but
it's always hard. I mean,
hard to tell.
Who knows?
Hard,
right?
Yeah.
When we had that debate about stage hypnosis and arguing about whether are people really hypnotized or are they just playing along, right? Like we'll never know, right?
Unless you try it.
I have, and I've never been hypnotized, so I don't believe it's real. But
well, they just need to give you.
I'm not like other people. I don't know.
They just need to dose you with more scopolamine.
They say certain people are more.
I actually got hypnotized by a stage hypnotist.
Oh, surprise, surprise!
But I didn't actually get
Troll
hypnotized.
says he got hypnotized.
Yeah, they
I
like
played
to get
along.
people who are suggestible, don't they?
I played along. It was, the lights were bright and stuff, and puts you in a relaxed mood and stuff, and you kind of you're in a good mood. But I 100% was playing along, and I was doing shit for the giggles. It was like from like my prom party type thing, and so it was just like a really fun atmosphere, and we were just making complete comedy out of it.
What was it, a couple weeks ago then?
Thank you.
Please tell me you're not above. Never mind.
He's at least 18, right? Or above 17.
I was hoping you weren't much more than 20 years old, and then you could be forgiven for. But
I mean, yeah, you could think about the path that you're on. Percent. You could maybe grow up to be like one of these other fuckwits, like these fucking British dudes that come in here that are 50, 60 years old, and just
drinking their piss left and right.
Oh my God!
You could grow up to be Pete Shea.
Yeah.
Or you could grow up to be what's that guy with no teeth in Britain? What's that guy's name?
Martin Liedtke.
Yeah, Martin Liedtke, or Ranty. Those are some people to look up to. That's what you got to look forward to in your middle age
with bad teeth in Britain.
Every Brit ever.
Is that Moyok? What's up, Moyok?
Sup?
Yo, Jem, how are your teeth?